Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Good evening, friends, and welcome into Memorial Gardens. This is the Frontline broadcast. Tonight's matchup features the Kingston Frontnacs. They come marching into the Memorial Gardens to take on the North Bay Battalion. This is the Frontline broadcast brought to you by...
The pregame show is brought to you by La Huerta Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit lahuertaimports.com for more details.
And there's a lot to talk about tonight. I'm your host, Derek Lindman. I'm pleased to be joined by Andrew White, joining us for the first time on air for a North Bay Battalion game. Welcome, Andrew.
It's exciting to be here, and it's exciting to be in the building tonight. If you haven't seen a Battalion game in a while, bring the kids down. They've got pretzels in the concession stands. It's going to be a good time.
Those are wonderful pretzels. And, you know, I have to have one almost every time I come here.
Right.
That's one of the advantages of being the host is I get a lot of time off watching a hockey game, and I can get those pretzels into me. But we just had a trade yesterday. We're going to talk about that shortly. But first, let's start by looking at our players to watch, brought to you by Mike the Financial Guy.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
For the Kingston Frontnacs is somebody familiar to this North Bay Battalion at Memorial Gardens, Owen Outwater. He was traded in the offseason and it has a strong start for the North Bay, or for the Kingston Frontnacs. 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points on the season, and drafted in the same year was the North Bay Battalion player to watch, Anthony Romani. 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. He was on the top line with Justin Ertl and Kyle Jackson. Tonight we'll see him get moved down the lineup a little bit, but he is an exciting player to watch. Andrew, how exciting is it for Owen Outwater? This is his first game back here in Memorial Gardens.
Absolutely. Coming into this game, he's got 19 under his belt with the Kingston Frontnacs, 5 goals, 11 assists, and 1 goal game time winner. So it's going to be exciting for him to be back in the building, to smell the old bleachers, and to enjoy maybe some old faces and some new faces in the stands as well.
Yeah, it's always exciting. I'm sure the crowd will give him a warm welcome. They really like the atmosphere he brought here last year. Unfortunately, he wanted a little more playing time, and the Battalion thought that they could get that for him in Kingston, and it's really worked out for Owen Outwater so far. He's gotten 16 points on the season.
And a little closer to home, too. He's from Ottawa, Ontario. So listen, Kingston, it's a little bit closer than North Bay.
It is, and it's a nice little drive there for the family to go watch him. Now let's turn our attention to the player to watch for the North Bay Battalion, Anthony Romani. He's been up and down the lineup. We've seen him on that top line with Justin Ertl and Kyle Jackson. Tonight he's getting moved down to that fourth line. He's going to be paired with Tarian and Procision, who will be back in the lineup. So still looking for a lot of offensive push from young Romani, and this is a kid that the North Bay Battalion brass really like.
And as a center for the battalion, he's going to get first glance at that puck almost every single time. Number 15, he's got 17 games here with the battalion. Coming into the matchup tonight, he's got 4 goals, 7 assists, and a couple of penalty minutes along with a game time winner. So listen, we'll take him and we'll be excited to watch him play tonight.
Hopefully he can continue my streak of players to watch. I've been quite lucky, and those players to watch have been doing really well for me, getting the goal in each of the games so far. So hopefully he can continue my hot streak for the North Bay Battalion. But the big news that is really on everyone's mind is the acquisitions that the North Bay Battalion did in a trade yesterday with the Saginaw Spirit. Let's recap that trade right now. Coming from the Saginaw Spirit is their captain, Josh Bloom. He was a second-round pick for the Saginaw Spirit and most recently a third-round pick with the Buffalo Sabres, along with Braden Tislop. He was a ninth-round selection with the Own Sound Attack, and he was an assistant captain. So that was 2 of their leaders off of that Saginaw Spirit, along with a 6th draft pick. Going the other way, the North Bay Battalion said Nick Sema, Cam Govero, 2 second-round draft picks, and 3 third-round draft picks. So it's a lot, and it's a splash that the North Bay Battalion are doing early and are looking to make their name known to be one of the strong contenders for the Eastern Conference.
Absolutely. Right now, sitting atop of the Central, having a guy like Bloom come in, he's a former captain with the Saginaw Spirit, draft pick with the Sabres. You know, listen, this is where the battalion want to be. They want to be acquiring players that have their head in the game. They know how to run that 200-foot game, and so it'll be an exciting time. Yeah,
adding that Josh Bloom, who, as the Buffalo Sabres quoted in an article recently, is that he is a player to watch. Like, he's one of the skilled players that might be an underdog that is going to do something for the Buffalo Sabres down the road, and it's quite exciting to see the North Bay Battalion go out and get somebody like that. And with Hislop, they're getting a 200-foot defenseman. Unfortunately, there is injuries right now on the back end. Avery Winslow still out for some time. Unknown when he's going to return, and even longer. Tanias Mathern, there's rumors that he's going to be going under the knife in the next month to get that shoulder taken away or taken care of. So that's something that North Bay had to address, and they did that by going out and getting Braden Hislop. It's a whole lot more of a game than people realize. People think the game is on the ice. Sometimes the game is in the numbers. It's in the draft pick. It's making the right pick at the right time, knowing who's going to fill out your lines accordingly at just the right speed. And I mean, look at Vegas a couple of years ago now. I mean, a whole team of the people that nobody knew, and yet they went so far in the NHL that year. Sometimes it's all about who you put in and where, and that's what both of these teams are looking for within their 4 lines. Some of the questions around this trade is, why would Saginaw give up so much early on in the season? They're currently sitting second in the Western Conference. A lot of people have them ranked as one of the top powerhouses in the Western Conference, but they just gave up 2 of their leadership groups, and really they got younger players and draft picks in return for those 2 players. Yeah, and it remains to be seen what's going to happen with teams like Saginaw. But as you mentioned earlier, just a minute ago, I mean, it's a good move for the battalion, and we'll see what they can do with it. The battalion weren't the first team to make a big move in the Eastern Conference. The Peterborough Petes went out just last week and got the captain from the Flint Firebirds. Unfortunately, the name of the player going across is unfamiliar, but Peterborough is one team that's in this Eastern Conference that's making a push, and the battalion want to be right there alongside of them. The Ottawa 67s have still only lost 1 game, so the battalion looking to make a splash in the pond early to show that they're a real contender this year. Absolutely. The battalion trying to get back on track after going through a 7-game tear, and then finally falling 4
was it 4-3 in their last contention with Kitchener. And so my question to you is, with all of these trades and all of these players moving around, who are you going to be watching tonight?
I'm really going to watch Josh Bloom and see how he fits in. They've got him penciled in right now in the left wing with Kyle Jackson and Justin Ertl. Yeah. Ertl's just finding his stride after playing last year in Cornell. He's getting used to the speed of the OHL. It's a little faster, a little more on top of you. The time with the puck is just not like it is in the university. And I think Josh Bloom's really going to help out that line and help out create space for Justin Ertl and Kyle Jackson. I'm really excited to see him dressed for the Battalion.
And the other thing that you mentioned earlier, of course, he's coming in as a former captain of the Saginaw Spirit. So, listen, it's always good to have some of these seasoned guys fill in some of the ranks, be able to pull up some of the younger guys with them and show them the ropes, even if they're brand new in the team. Some of these guys bring with them some ingenuity and some innovation, some fresh ways of thinking, and here at the Battalion, we'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know I was talking with Courtney Kenny after the game on Sunday and talking about the ice time that Nick Seaman was getting. He was down on that fourth line. I thought he was better than that and deserved more ice time, and I thought maybe that was going to be a deadline kind of player that the Battalion can depart with. I didn't expect it to happen 3 days from when we started talking about it. And you know what? I'm really happy for Nick Seema. He's going to go somewhere where he's going to get the minutes he deserves, and he's going to do something for the Saginaw Spirit. And it's unfortunate it couldn't be here in North Bay, but I really am happy that he gets to go somewhere that he can prove himself.
And like I said earlier, I mean, hockey is a game of both the head and the heart. So it's hard to see some of these players move. It's hard to see some of them go, but it's always good to see what people can do with the numbers and crunching in some new players. And I mean, listen, I mean, you can't let the wins get to your head. You can't let the losses get to your heart. This is the game of hockey. It doesn't get any better than this.
No, and there's still rumors out there that Shane Wright's going to be back to the Kingston Frontnacs, who we're going to see tonight. That's a player that's going to draw a lot of attention in trade rumors. London Knights are rumored to be involved if he gets sent back to the OHL. The Sarnia Sting went out today and got Sasha Pastajov from the Guelph Storm, who were just in town last week. So there's still another player, Jilkin, that's on the Guelph Storm that is going to get a lot of attention in the trade rumors. Sarnia Sting are looking to build. And remember, it's still 30-some days away till the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So not only do you get a player like Josh Bloom that's going to help you down the stretch, you're also going to get him for 19 games before the trade deadline to get even better and more acquainted with his teammates. So that's one of the advantages of jumping out early to make that splash in the pond.
And one of the things about the Kingston Frontnacs, of course, well ahead of the trade deadline is, as we mentioned off broadcast, they've lost a lot of their skilled players, and so they've gone from skills to drills. This team has had to relearn a whole lot more about what it means to play the 200-foot game.
Yeah.
How to jump into puck pursuit, and so it's the Battalion have their work cut out for them, Central or not. Here we go.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to talk to the Kingston Frontnacs radio broadcast play-by-play for Jim Gilchrist before the game, and I asked him how the team looks this year, and the thing that he really said is that they're a hard-working team. Yeah. Their puck pursuit is next to none, and they're not going to give up in either end each night, so it's going to be an exciting game. Let's take a look at the North Bay Battalion roster. One player that is out of the lineup tonight is Kyle McDonald, has been scratched. We're uncertain of what that is entailing, but he will not be in the lineup tonight. And returning Ethan Procision, taking the spot of Brett Bouchard on that fourth line.
Yeah, and of course, one of the top goal scorers for the North Bay Battalion is Petrov, left winger number 22, with 17 games under his belt. He's got 9 goals, 14 assists, and no game-winning goal yet.
No,
but we'll see what happens.
So that's going to be another roster change that I forgot to mention, is that Michael Podolou is back in the lineup, and he's going to be slotted into that center spot between Nikita Tarasevich and Matvei Petrov. Dallin Winkley has been moved up to that second line to take the spot of Kyle McDonald, but the rest remains the same. But now let's take a look at the goaltending matchup we have for tonight. Getting the start for the Kingston Frontnacs, Mason Vaccari. Probably not the number one goaltender there in Kingston, but he's a close second.
Out of Mississauga, Ontario, he's had 7 games with this club, and with a save percentage of 0.918. So not bad. 5 wins, 2 losses. Not too bad for an 18-year-old.
No, and with slightly better numbers is Dom Sanchez getting the start for the North Bay Battalion. Little bit questionable going into tonight's matchup, but he is in the lineup getting that start, and he's off to a red-hot start for the battalion.
Absolutely, an NHL draft pick with Winnipeg. He's played 13 games with a save percentage of 0.899. 10 wins, 3 losses for the 18-year-old coming out of Bolton, Ontario. And we're excited to see him play tonight as the battalion take the ice.
Really excited to see these two teams. They've met once before with the North Bay Battalion winning in Kingston. That was a 3-2 shootout victory that night. And you know what? These two teams really play each other hard. And the North Bay Battalion have really dominated the Kingston Frontnacs right here in Memorial Gardens.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, the battalion coming in off a 7-game tear and then falling to Kitchener. They really want to get back on track tonight before they hit the road. And the Kingston Frontnacs, of course, coming into this game, they dropped the past 2 games leading up to this to Mississauga 4-3, and then they got pounded by Ottawa 7-1. So they're looking to get back on track tonight.
Yeah, that was a rare Tuesday afternoon game in Ottawa, as that was high school day for the Ottawa 67s. But both teams are on the ice. We're all set up here in the broadcast booth. When we come back after the national anthem, Matt Sucrum will join us for the play-by-play, and Andrew White will have your color commentary when we return to the Frontline broadcast.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Lovely rendition of O Canada here at Memorial Gardens, and we are just about ready for puck drop tonight as the North Bay Battalion gets set. to take on the Kingston Frontnacs. Why don't you give us the story in net tonight between North Bay and Kingston, Andrew?
The story in net tonight is Mason for the Kingston Frontnacs here, coming in with a games played 7, up against his buddy Dom over on the other side. Games played 13, and it's not too bad. Save percentages between 0.8 and 0.9 with Dom taking in 10 wins out of 3 losses for the 18-year-old versus 5 and 2 on the other side. Both of these goaltenders looking primed and prepped, ready to go tonight. Our netminder for the Battalion coming in out of Bolton. He's a Winnipeg draft pick, and of course the Kingston netminder is from Mississauga. And so it'll be a good evening tonight, not only for these two netminders, but for their teams and those who have joined us here in the stands tonight.
And again, we thank you for tuning in on the Frontline broadcast. Should be a good one tonight. North Bay looking to bounce back from that loss to the Kitchener Rangers on Sunday, while the Kingston Frontnacs are trying to bounce back from a Tuesday morning loss in the nation's capital against the Ottawa 67s. The loss for the Battalion actually snapped a 7-game win streak for them. And so, like I said, trying to right the ship and get back into the win column as the puck is dropped. We're underway and immediately have an icing called with just 7 seconds gone in the first period.
Absolutely. The North Bay Battalion, if they win tonight, they start at 1. They had a 7-game tear, like you said, which included a 7-2 pasting in Barrie, and they beat out Kitchener. They fell to Kitchener, and that's when it all came apart, 4-3 the other night.
So play underway, face-off won by the Battalion. That's Hislop, one of the newcomers. Tried to set it up to Bloom, missed his stick, down a line. Ty Nelson fires it in. It's deflected wide of the net. In behind the net, trying to control it is Thomas Budnick for the Frontnacs. He lost possession. It's into the corner for Bloom. Bloom sends it around to the far side to Nelson, back across to Hislop. Hislop tries to play in the middle. That got picked off. But the Frontnacs can't clear. Good job on the back check to break up the play there by Justin Ertl. It's sent into the corner. Around to the far side boards. Nelson has it, fires it in. That's blocked in front of the net. And now another chance from the near side. That one's turned away as well. At the line, Hislop keeps it in. Bouncing towards the net and denied as the goaltender Vicari is able to make the stop there. Set up right in front of the net was Owen Van Steensel, looking to take advantage of that play. Puck still inside the zone. Van Steensel there again in front of the net, but he can't get the shot off. Puck slides to the near side boards. It goes into the corner. It's Arnsby back there, the captain of the Battalion. He skates to the far side corner. Now he sends it to the point. Christopoulos with a hard shot. That one's blocked off the skates of Arcuri, and he's going to find it all the way into the North Bay end. But on the back check, Lukin takes it away from him, and he isn't able to get a shot away as Lukin is able to clear the zone. 1.5 minutes into the opening period. No score. The Battalion had the Frontnacs hemmed in their own zone for the better part of that first 1.5 minutes to open the game. Puck inside the neutral zone. That's Wakely. Feeds it down the right side boards, gets it into the Kingston zone, and that line will change. That's Braden Hache, one of the 2 alternate captains for the Kingston Frontnacs. They do not have a captain on this team. Puck sent out of the zone. It's Petrov picking it up, coming in, drops it back for Podolou. The shot and the save is made right in front of the Frontnacs net. Cleared out by Kingston into the neutral zone. Turley has it for the North Bay Battalion, dropping back all the way into his own end. Fires it to the far side in the neutral zone. Is picked up by Podolou. Podolou coming in on the right wing side. Stops at the hash marks, tries to feed it to the point. That got blocked. And now Kingston will get out of the zone with the puck. It's Owen Outwater, former North Bay Battalion. Josh Curry, the other former North Bay Battalion, trying to set it up to the line. Williamson's there. Plays it across to the far side. That one's dumped in. Frasca centers it. And the shot is blocked. It was Thibodeau right there on the doorstep for the Frontnacs. But Dom DiVincentis is able to make the save. 2:50 into the opening period. No score. Both teams with a couple of chances early on here as play just keeps rolling. It's inside the Frontnac zone. Now brought out. Up to the line. Hughes couldn't control it going over the blue line. North Bay send it back the other way. It'll go the length of the ice right to the goaltender Vicari. He'll freeze it for a stoppage in play. And 16:51 remaining in the first, no score.
Vicari coming out of Mississauga, Ontario, has had 7 games with the Kingston Frontnacs with a save percentage of 0.918. Not too bad with 5 wins and 2 losses for the 18-year-old. So he's going to look to stand tall tonight between the pipes for the Frontnacs.
Face off inside the Kingston zone. It's won by the Battalion. Drop back to line. Big slap shot from Ty Nelson, but it's a blocker save made by the goaltender Vicari. Back to the line. Nelson across to the right side. That's Hislop. Going into the corner, trying to find Terrien back there. It's knocked away from his stick. The Frontnacs can't clear though. Terrien gets it back at the line and dumps it in. Picking it up in the near side corner are the Frontnacs. A pass behind the net is picked off by Romani. Anthony Romani still holding it in that near side corner. Sends it off the side of the net as he tried to center it. It goes to the far side point. That's Nelson there. Fires it wide of the net. Puck bounces to the line to Hislop. Hislop plays it in behind the net. That's Hache. Hache centers it inadvertently to Ertl, whose slap shot is blocked by Vicari. Braden Hache of the Frontnacs set it up perfectly to Ertl. Unfortunately for Hache, Ertl is on the wrong team. And Ertl was given a golden opportunity there, but he couldn't convert as this puck is sent down the ice. Icing will be the call, but what a slap shot there by Justin Ertl.
And Vicari is already showing his colors here on the net, black and gold as they may be. 4 shots on net, not even 5 minutes here drained in the first period, and we got a hockey game on our hands.
Yeah, the Battalion, clearly the game plan was pepper him with a bunch of pucks. So
they want back that last game.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it came out a little flat in the opening 2 periods, really turned it on in the third, but by then, a 4-1 lead going into the third, hard to overcome.
It was just too much of a climb.
But certainly off to a good start here. Puck inside the neutral zone, carried out by Matthew Soto. He gets it up to the blue line, taken away by Lukin. He fires it back up to his own blue line for the Battalion, and now sent down the far right side. It's Wakely coming in, centers it to Arnsby, and he fires it wide of the net. Picked up on the near side blue line by Lukin. Into the corner, Arnsby. Arnsby plays it back to Lukin at the line. Now back to Arnsby at the hash marks. He tries to pass to the far side. It kicked off the skate of Outwater and sent down the ice. Outwater, former North Bay Battalion first-round draft pick, playing against his former team for the second time, first time at home. He was in the lineup in that 4-3 overtime win by the North Bay Battalion last month in Kingston. Played down to the blue line in the Kingston zone. It's taken away by Collins. He gets it up ahead to Ludwinski, who enters the attacking zone. He plays it in behind the net, but it's Nelson there to pick it off for North Bay. Flips it around to the near side. That's Kennedy there. Check that, Hislop. Sending it down the ice on the right wing side. Coming in the zone. Terrien drops it back. Nelson skating down the right side. Takes a sharp angle shot. Save made. Rebound chance at the side of the net. No one there to get a shot off as the goaltender Vicari was pulled out of position. But again, no one there for the shot. Now Nelson centers it. That shot is stopped. Rebound chance denied as well as Vicari makes a save going post to post. Petrov sends it to the right side to Nelson at the point. He sends it in the corner for Tarasevich. Flipped around on the far side boards. Petrov chips it over to Nelson. Back across to the left side. That is Tarasevich in the middle. Ponaloo shot into the midsection of Vicari. And he holds on to it for a stoppage and play. Every line for the Battalion coming out right now is getting time in that attacking zone.
Absolutely. Vicari doing his work, earning his pay for the Frontnacs tonight. 7 shots on net so far. I think it's fair to say that the Battalion got the memo from last game after falling to the Rangers 4-1. In that game, of course, they had trouble with their tape-to-tape passing. There was a lot of puck chasing. Once they got the puck, they weren't very well coordinated. They couldn't seem to get a shot off. Ended up going right past the keeper or right to the keeper most of the time. But today, different game, different team. Here we go. Buckle up.
And it's also a bit of a different look, right? You've got Ethan Procession back in the lineup, coming home after spending some time with the silver medal winning Team Canada Red at the World Under Hockey 17 Challenge. And then you've also got the 2 newcomers in Josh Bloom and Braden Hislop, who are looking to make an impression with their new squad, and we'll certainly talk to them about them throughout the broadcast. But what a deal by General Manager Adam Dennis to go and get Saginaw's captain, who happens to be a third-round draft pick by the Buffalo Sabres in 2021.
Yeah, and of course Saginaw second in the West right now. You'd think the captain would be someone that they would want to hang on to, but of course adding some more depth to the lines here in North Bay for the troops, and you have to wonder what kind of seasoned experience the former captain is bringing to this squad.
So we've actually got a penalty here for the North Bay Battalion. Kennedy getting called for hooking after that last face-off. So the Frontnacs with the first special teams opportunity here. Burns has the puck at the blue line, across to the right side. Shot, save made as it went off the pads of DiVincentis. Kick to the far side boards. Van Steenso gets up to the point, gets control of the puck and dumps it down the ice. And 30 seconds has been erased on this penalty for the North Bay Battalion. Coming into the zone with control of the puck is Quinton Burns. He carries it to the far side corner. Then he's attacked as he gets there, and Hislop is able to clear it down the ice. Racing the puck is Erdl. He is battling with Arcuri in the zone, but Arcuri turns and brings it back the other way. Francesco Arcuri to the line, to the right side, Ludwinski tries to play in the middle, and that one is blocked by the Battalion and sent down the ice. You got to think that Frontnacs coming in this game with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, having lost to the Battalion in the Eastern Conference semifinals last year. But they are also a very different looking team this year, and we'll get to that in a minute as the Frontnacs bring the puck right back in the zone. Here they come on the attack. Arcuri's shot, save made, rebound at the side of the net. DiVincentis is all over it for the stoppage in play. 37 seconds remaining in the North Bay penalty kill. So far, so good for the home side with 12:14 to go in the first.
DiVincentis doing his best here, sprawling out, getting a hold of that puck. Our Bolton, Ontario boy, of course, a 7th-round draft pick with the Winnipeg Jets, and of course showing his colors tonight with the troops between the pipes.
At the line, Thibodeau could not hold it there for the Frontnacs, and now they've got 30 seconds remaining on their power play as they bring the puck back into the North Bay zone. At the side of the net, Soto sent to the line. Big scramble there, but Soto finds the puck in the middle, drops it back, shot coming in. That goes wide of the net as Jacob Battaglia sends it high and over the glass and out of play. So the Battalion come in with the 6th-ranked penalty kill in the league, 12 for 75, so 84% on the kill rate for the Battalion, while the power play numbers for the Kingston Frontnacs looking pretty good to start the season. 11th in the league, 20.3%, 15 power play goals on 74 chances. So certainly room to grow, but that's not a bad spot to sit, just under the halfway mark in the league for the Kingston Frontnacs. But
and we'll take it.
2 seconds to go, the Wyatt Kennedy is out of the box, and so we're back to 5-on-5 play, and the Frontnacs immediately go offside with 11:30 to play in the first period.
And of course the Kingston Frontnacs, they've got their own agenda tonight, dropping the past 2 games leading up to this. Finally, it was a shootout loss to Mississauga 4-3 before they got pasted by Ottawa 7-1. So after tonight, they've got 5 games on the road, but for tonight, they've got a score to settle with the Battalion, and they're going to try and get their club back on track.
Face-off won by North Bay in the neutral zone. Jackson going into the Kingston end. Jackson to the middle, looking for control of the puck. Sends it to the right side. Shot comes in. Save made. And then Podolou could not find the puck in the blue paint area. Sent down into the North Bay zone now. DiVincentis stops the rolling puck and then feeds it into the corner, looking to try and get it out of the zone. But the Kingston Frontnacs putting on the pressure here. They lose it behind the net. It's out to Podolou, and Podolou skates down the ice with it. Podolou down the left wing, fires it in over the crossbar, played off the glass by Nelson. He flips it back to the near side corner. It's taken there by Jackson Stewart of the Frontnacs, but now he's pressured in the corner. And now there's some hard pushing and shoving going on in the corner. Jackson is holding Procession down there. Procession is trying to get away. and right in front of the officials, he knocks Procession down again, and the official's just looking at him.
And there's no call. And we've got a couple of opinions from the bleachers as they don't know why.
Now down the ice, Terry going in, makes the move, dangled around one defender, and then lost control of the puck as he went towards the net. Then he tried to pass to the middle, and that one got picked off by the Frontnacs and cleared out of the zone. I was going to say there couldn't really be too much. There's a chance at the side of the net. Now Collins going in, the shot scores. And it's Maddox Collins who opens the scoring for the Kingston Frontnacs. It was 1-0 just over halfway through the first as the Frontnacs went in on a late 2-on-1.
And that's his 9th of the season so far with the, I apologize. That's his 4th of the season in now 9 games played with the Frontnacs. Of course, he's got 1 assist, but the left winger is going to add to his portfolio here with another game and another goal for the Kingston Frontnacs.
Maddox Kalins. Some have it typed out as an O. It's an A, though. Kingston's 3rd round draft pick in 2019, 43rd overall. And that is his 4th goal of the season. So, North Bay, despite their good play to this point of the game, find themselves down 1-0. Playing the far side, that's Kyle Jackson trying to get it out of the zone. At the point, it's caught and kept in by Quinton Burns. But then immediately turned over and sent down the ice by the North Bay Battalion. Picked up by the Frontnacs, in behind the net. Now they will control it back there. 9 minutes to play in the first period. 1-0 is the score for the Kingston Frontnacs. Holding the puck back there is Braden Hache. He flips it to the far side boards, and the Frontnacs now bring it out. Burns dumping it in. Chasing it into the corner is Nelson of the Battalion. He flips it to the boards to Wakely. Wakely backhands it out of the zone, gets it up on the stick of Arnsby, coming down the right wing side, into the zone. Shot, big save made. Rebound comes into the slot, but the Frontnacs take away any scoring chances there. Now they carry it right back in front of their net, and the goaltender Vicari decides to just hold on to it there. We've reached the break point. Halfway through, 1-0 North Bay.
This period is brought to you by Canadore Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks for more information.
So 1-0 for the Kingston Frontnacs halfway through the first period, but the North Bay Battalion heavily outshooting them 9-4 to this point. A lot of that came in those opening 2 to 3 minutes, though, where they really peppered Vicari. Since then, the Frontnacs have had a good pushback, and it's resulted in a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. The North Bay Battalion, like I mentioned earlier on the broadcast before the game, they started out on they were on a 7-game tear. Now they're starting that tear once again at 1 after beating out Barrie quite handily 7-2, and then falling to Kitchener 4-3. And so they've got their work cut out for them as they want to get as the back in the lineup, but they can't let up, not for 1 minute, because the Kingston Frontnacs, the shots on goal may be 9-4 in favor of the home, but the guests have a 1-0 lead.
Face-off win by North Bay. It's Wakely centering. The shot is stopped. Van Steensel right there. He gets it back to the point to Nelson. Nelson carries it to the right side boards. Shot, save made. Loose puck in the slot. Wakely was right there. Couldn't get a good shot off either. And it's cleared by Kingston. North Bay backtracking into their own zone after Kingston clears it. Hislop with it, gets it up to Van Steensel, who finds Wakely coming down the left wing side into the hash marks. He sends it back to the point to Nelson. Nelson takes a shot and fires it high. In behind the net. The Frontnacs have it. They can't clear. Stopped on the far side paint by Hislop. He gets it to the point to Nelson. Walking in, the shot, save made. by the goaltender Vicari, and he holds on to it for a stoppage and play. His 11th save already of the game. 7:46 to go. It's a 1-0 North Bay lead. Check that. 1-0 Kingston lead.
We can hope for the best, but unfortunately the scoreboard says what it says. And the North Bay Battalion, again, really making good on their last home game loss to Kitchener. And like you said, 11-4 the shot. So the Battalion won it. It's just a matter of can they cross the goal line.
Sent down into the North Bay end, and that will be icing called against the Kingston Frontnacs. And, Don DiVincentis has been stellar in net this season. As you mentioned, he's played the majority of the games, but right now he sits 5th in the league with a 2.72 goals against average. And, if you're looking to be one of the upper echelon teams in the OHL, a lot of that does start with having good goaltending.
Absolutely. The 18-year-old Mississauga native is looking to grow on a good start, like you mentioned, with 5 wins and 2 losses.
Play inside the Kingston zone. Sent to the far side point. Kennedy centers it, deflected by Potaloo. Picked up on the near side, sent to the point to Turley. Across to the far side to Kennedy. The shot comes in. Save made. Rebound chance right in front. It's bouncing around. The net gets knocked off. The goaltender's knocked down. Somebody's in a headlock, and the officials are trying to clear the area there.
Lots of traffic, lots of busy activity in front of the net. The Battalion, it was one shot after another, hacking and fighting away at this puck to try and get it to cross the goal line. Somehow Vicari managed to keep that out of the net, probably with the help from some of his squad right there in front of the goal. And we still have a 1-0 hockey game, but the shots 14-4 in favor of the home team.
7:12 remaining in the first period. 1-0 Frontnacs. And he's given up quite a few rebounds that the Battalion just haven't been able to get control of. It seems like they're fighting that puck after they get off that initial shot. So we'll see if that strategy changes it, or if they're able to break through that defense, which has done a really good job collapsing in front of the net after those initial shots.
Sometimes a weight like that can either make you frustrated or it can give you fire. So we'll see which one happens first.
Williamson gets it into the neutral zone for the Frontnacs. It's picked up by North Bay. Bloom comes in, fires it at the goaltender, kicks it into the corner. Picked up there by Lucan. Now Lucan will go all the way behind the net. The big defender of the Battalion then gets stuck back there and lost the puck in the process, and it's cleared by the Frontnacs. It's Christopoulos at his own blue line. Sends it back. It's Hemstrom there for the Frontnacs, who sends it forward into the North Bay zone. Picked up by DiVincentis and sent to the near side to Lucan. Lucan finds Christopoulos, who sends it down the ice for Bloom, who deflects it into the zone, and a new line comes out. Procession out there into the corner. Sends it to the line to Hislop. Across to the right side to Nelson. Nelson walking down the right side boards, tries to center it. That got blocked, but not cleared. Hislop does a good job to block the clearing attempt. Then he slaps it to the corner, but that puck is picked up by Kingston and cleared right there. So Hislop doing a good job at the blue line initially, but then just wasn't able to block that secondary chance on the clear by the Frontnacs, who get it all the way into the North Bay zone. North Bay clear it quickly into the neutral zone, and now Battaglia gets it back. There's a hit behind the play. Stewart knocked down Terrien with a pretty high hit, and that is going to get called. The official's arm is up, and so going to the box, and looks like it will be Frasca, I believe. No. It's going to be Jackson Stewart that goes to the box. So North Bay will get to go to work here on the power play, down by a goal. It's the 6th ranked power play in the league at 23.8% with 15 goals, going up against the 6th ranked penalty kill at 82.2%.
And this might be just the opportunity they're looking for to even I was going to say the playing field. Even the score will go with that.
Absolutely.
With 2 minutes in the box for the Frontnacs and 5 minutes left on the clock.
Nelson to the half board to Petrov, across to the right side, Jackson. Jackson takes a shot, save made, rebound chance at the side of the net, and that one's denied as well. The Frontnacs trying to clear, but now they're holding it behind the net. Ertl is there, putting the pressure on Burns back there. The puck's still in that area. It comes clear up to the blue line to Nelson. Nelson shovels it back in along the end boards for Ertl. Ertl gets it to the near side boards for Petrov. Petrov back to the corner for Ertl. Ertl finds Petrov, now to the line. Nelson takes a hard shot, and the blocker save is made. Sent around to the far side boards, that's Jackson there. Jackson deflects it into the middle of the neutral zone. Now it's back to the right side boards. Now to the left side. That is Petrov. Petrov sends it across to the far side. Shot comes in. Save made. And it's held on to by the goaltender, Vakari.
Petrov is, of course, from Russia, Moscow, and Moscow, Russia, excuse me. And got my birds backwards there for just a second. NHL draft pick, round 6 draft pick with the Oilers. And he's a pretty big boy, too, 6'2", 195, so he knows how to hold his own.
North Bay can't win the ensuing face-off, so they'll have to chase it all the way back into their own zone. 45 seconds remaining on the North Bay power play, 4:15 to go in the first period, and it is 1-0 for the Kingston Frontnacs. Playing behind the net, Arnsby can't get control of it, and it's cleared out to the neutral zone. Sent back into the Kingston end with 25 seconds to go. Arnsby plays it behind the net for Tarasevic. Tarasevic in the far side corner, looking to center it. Now he gets it off the boards to Romani. Romani into the corner to Tarasevic. Tried to get that one through the slot, but it's picked off at the last second by Ludwinski. And Ludwinski is going to go coast to coast here towards the net. But on the back check, Christopoulos gets his stick in the way and doesn't give the shot off. We're back to 5-on-5 play as Wakely brings it into the zone. He goes into the half boards. Still holding it there, being pressured by Stewart. Check that by Burns. Now it's sent down the ice by the Frontnacs. It'll be touched by Lukin, and icing will be the call. 3:16 remaining in the first period, 1-0 for the Frontnacs.
It was a scary moment there. It looked like the Frontnacs were about to undress 3 defensemen right at once there and give. But DiVincentis standing up between the pipes there, standing tall for his team, keeping it in a 1-0 game. But again, these shots, I can't get over it. 18 for the Battalion, 4 for the guests. And we'll have to see when the pressure finally breaks.
And that ties a season high for shots in a period for the North Bay Battalion this season. They had 18 in the third period in a loss to Windsor on October 27th. So one more and they will set a new season high. Play in the corner. Sent down to the point to Nelson, across to the right side. Hislop sends it behind the net for Potaloo. Back up to the half boards for Hislop. Over to Nelson. One-time shot, and that one's blocked by the right winger Hemstrom, and then he'll carry it down the ice. But Arcuri is ahead of him, and he goes offside.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Like I said earlier on the broadcast, Matt, these weights and trying to get something going, trying to get something moving, can either get you frustrated or it can get you fired up. The Battalion have 2 minutes and 38 seconds left just in the first period here to see if they can make something move before we go to break.
Face-off won by North Bay. Up to the blue line, Tarasevic dumps it in, and that will be icing called against the North Bay Battalion. This is the trap that they can't get themselves into right now, right? They can't allow themselves to make those mental mistakes and allow the Frontnacs to get even more momentum heading into the second period.
And of course, every time they drop it into icing, every time they drop it into offside, it goes all the way back down into the Frontnacs offensive zone, which is not what the Battalion want at this stage in the game.
Petrov clears it out to the neutral zone, but it's picked up quickly by Soto. Soto gets it up to Curry. Curry lost it at the blue line, the overager for the Frontnacs, but then he gets it back, finds Soto, and then he Tried to pass it to the middle. It's blocked by North Bay, and they get it out of the zone. Down the ice is Wakely. Wakely down into the right side circle. His shot is stopped and then deflected away by the goaltender Vicari. Now in behind the net. Wakely tried a centering pass. That got blocked. Picked up on the far side by Burns, and Burns clears it down the ice. Soto racing towards it in the North Bay zone, but cleared out quickly by Lukin. 1:45 to play in the first period. 1-0 Kingston. Coming into the zone is Petrov. To the middle, Terra safety. Play outside, Jackson makes a move and scores! There's a reason they call him Action Jackson, and it's because he scores highlight reel goals like that. The Battalion tie it 1-1.
It's right through the 5-hole from the near side, skating around to the far side. Zips one in quick, and we got a tied-up hockey game.
I mean, that was exactly what the coach ordered, wasn't it? The Battalion moved the puck down into the zone beautifully, and then Jackson was just wide open on that left side. And for North Bay, finally, they get that space in the zone they were looking for.
It's his 8th goal of the season with 17, now 18 games to play with the Battalion. And 5 assists for him with 1 game goal time winner, and we'll take it to go.
And that will also be a new season high for the North Bay Battalion in terms of shots in a period. 19 here through the first 18 and a half minutes of this game.
Like I said, that's goal number 8 for him, and the 26 center here. He'll take it and polish up his resume with 1 more point.
Oh, Kyle Jackson is a Seattle Kraken prospect, was drafted this past year, and now as play gets underway here, the Battalion immediately are getting called for a slash. Josh Bloom, his first name on the score sheet as a member of the North Bay Battalion will be with him going into the penalty box. So this will be the second power play of the game for the Kingston Frontnacs.
The Buffalo Sabres draft is going to be, and the former captain's going to be heading to the break. Look at that, with the former captain, of course, with the Saginaw Spirit. They're second in the West. Bloom now joining the Battalion. He's going to have a seat for 2 minutes.
Battalion clear the puck off the draw and send it down the ice. Just want to make a point that was Kyle Jackson's 48th career OHL goal, and he's now up to 107 career points. North Bay steal the puck in the neutral zone. Van Steensel coming in 1-on-3, and they're able to get the puck away from Van Steensel, but he was able to kill a couple of seconds there in the Frontenac zone, and as they bring it back in, it's stolen. Arnsby is shoved down on the ice trying to get control of the puck, but he doesn't. Now Van Steensel finds it, going in on breakaway, and he is denied by the goaltender Vicari. What a turn of events there in that sequence.
We almost looked like we were going to have a shorthanded goal here with 38.5 seconds left on the clock, with 1:25 left for Bloom in the box. And the Battalion have now put 20 shots on goal. One of them went past, but 20 shots on the shot clock here.
North Bay win the draw, and they clear it immediately into the neutral zone. Again, they are shorthanded here for another minute 15, so barring a goal, they will carry that into the second period. Erdahl throws a hit at the line as Thibodeau was coming right up to him, trying to pressure him off the puck. Now Erdahl goes towards the front of the net, almost stole it cleanly off the stick of Thomas Budnick. My goodness. Erdahl on the forecheck is a dangerous player there. 5 seconds to go in the period. North Bay clear the puck out of their zone. It's going to go all the way down the ice, and that'll run out the clock here in the opening 20 minutes. So North Bay give up the early goal, but then they get one back. They'll have 47 seconds remaining to kill on the penalty when they return in the second period, but they got to be pretty pleased that they aren't going into the locker room trailing after giving up an early one.
And that's going to break all the tension for the green and white as they head in for a few minutes to listen to their coach and to listen to their captain, of course. It's like I said earlier, and I've said it a couple of times now, sometimes all of this waiting can just make you frustrated or it can get you fired up. The Battalion, of course, making good here, as we've got a couple of minutes for the boys to get some fresh legs to kill off the last 47 seconds of this penalty in the second period.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. Derek will come back in and take you through your first period intermission. You're listening to the Average Joe's Game Day broadcast here live from Memorial Gardens.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we're back inside Memorial Gardens, where after one period of play, the Kingston Frontnacs and North Bay Battalion are deadlocked at 1 apiece. I am Derek Lindeman, and I'll take you through this first intermission on the Frontline broadcast. Let's take a look at the scoring summary in that first period. As I said, each team recorded 1 goal. The Frontnacs getting on the board first at 10:04 as Maddox Callens jumping on a juicy rebound. His 4th of the season. Linus Hemstrom and Gabriel Frasca getting the assist on that goal. And then the North Bay Battalion even things up in the final 2 minutes of the game as of the first period. Kyle Jackson with his 8th of the season tied things up at 18-21. Petrov and Tarasevich with the assist on that goal. Petrov's assist will extend his point streak now to 15 games on the season. That's the longest of the OHL so far this season. 3 penalties in the first period. Wyatt Kennedy going off for hooking at 6:23. Jackson Stewart of the Frontnacs out for roughing at 14:27. And then Josh Bloom for slashing at 18:47. Shots on goal really heavy, one-sided for the North Bay Battalion, outshooting the Frontnacs 20-4 in that first period of play. But as the scoreboard shows, it's 1-1 through the 20 minutes. Power plays, neither team were able to capitalize. The Frontnacs 0 for 2 on the power play, but they will have 47 seconds on the penalty to Josh Bloom to start the second period, and the Battalion were 0 for 1 in the first period. Face-offs, again, the North Bay Battalion doing a really good job in the face-off dot, winning 17 of the 23 draws in that first period. A very light night on the OHL schedule as there's only 2 other games on tap in the OHL. The first one, the Niagara Ice Dogs have a 1-0 lead over the visiting Flint Firebirds. That's through 1 period of play. And late in the first period, the Peterborough Petes not being good hosts as they're up on the Oshawa Generals 3-0. That game just late in the first period of play. Let's take a look at professional sports and what's going on elsewhere. The Thursday night NFL game, that's an 8:15 kickoff. The Tennessee Titans are in Green Bay to take on the Packers. Let's turn our attention now to the Canadian NHL teams as the Toronto Maple Leafs are tied with the New Jersey Devils 1 apiece. That is after 1 period of play. Austin Matthews with the goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. in Columbus, the Blue Jacks are leading the Montreal Canadiens 2-0 through one period of play. Calgary trails the Tampa Bay Lightning 1-0. That's late in the first period. And the other Canadian game sees the Winnipeg Jets host the Anaheim Ducks. That is a 8 o'clock puck drop in Winnipeg. The Frontline podcast was lucky enough to have a very exceptional guest this week as Dallin Wakely sat down with Ben Long and Courtney Kenny on the podcast. And here's a little sample of that interview now.
First one I got to ask about, though, because it's been all over the arena, during intermissions and stuff, and the team posted a video about it as well. I got to talk to you about Wake Sakes. Explain it to people who might not know what's going on with it.
Yeah, so basically, I think after last year, kind of getting my feet wet in the community and stuff, over the summer, I was talking with my billet mom, Lori, and I think we just seen an opportunity where I could kind of involve myself in the community even more. For a place that's given me so much, with everyone in the organization, like I said, my billets, I think, I'm just in a position where I want to give back a little bit. So we finally got it worked out logistically and stuff. So every Tuesday, so starting tomorrow for me, I'll be going to the gathering place and helping out there, cook meals and deliver meals to people in need. And also we're doing some drives at the rinks and stuff too. So I'm just really excited and fortunate to be in a position where I can do this and give back a little bit.
What kind of meals does Dallin Wakely cook? Is there any specialties, or is it kind of your basic bread and butter type of stuff?
Well, for myself, like at home, you could ask some of the boys, and I cook for Romani all the time. I make a little bit of quinoa and steak and some pesto and stuff going on. I can get complex, but we'll see what they put me up to over at the gathering place. But I've learned to cook over the years a little bit. Yeah.
You're probably better than me in the kitchen. I can't even make craft dinner right. So
quinoa and steak's pretty complex and healthy.
Yeah, I try to keep it as healthy as possible. So yeah, it's a good mix.
So with that though, like, how excited are you to actually see this get off the ground finally?
Super excited. I mean, we've been talking about it and doing stuff behind the scenes for quite a while now. So finally, get out there and do some of the stuff I've been planning to do is I'm really excited to do it. And, to have some teammates come along with me and then help me out too is I'm lucky to have them want to do that too. So I think it'll be a great thing for the organization. And I'm just really excited to give back a little bit. Like I said, I mean, anytime you give back a little, it's always, kind of rewarding a little bit, or humbling, I guess is a better word. And I'm just fortunate to be in that position.
When it comes
who came
to
up with the name for it?
It was actually my billet mom. We were kind of like bouncing back and forth on what to call it, or whatever we wanted to do, and she said Wake Sakes, and I thought it was a great kind of play on my nickname there, and it made sense, so I like it too, so it works.
Yeah, it's a brilliant name and great for marketing like that. Like it flows off the tongue really well.
It does, yeah. My first name is a little hard to work with sometimes, Dallin, so I think Wakes was a good direction to go.
I think the nice thing, at least now that you're full in the league for a year, there's not as much butchering of your first name as there was maybe last year at this time.
Yeah, well, not at home.
Still get
on the road a lot though. Still,
when we still get guys asking almost every week when guys come in, like yesterday, even the announcer. Well, Kitchener we hadn't played before, but he came in. He's like, Dalen, or how do you say this?
Yeah, no, it's constant, but it's okay.
No, that's good. At least in Peterborough, though, when you score a goal, that guy there, he knows your name.
Yeah, Gordy Gibb. Yeah, he knows my name. I've met him, and growing up, I always used to listen to him. He was one of my favorite guys to hear over the PA. So he's got my name dialed. There's a couple of rinks that I caught on too, actually now. So it's nice.
When I gotta ask you, because you always seem to. I mean, this year you're having a fantastic start to your year, but you always seem to score big goals in those big games, whether it's Indigenous Youth Day or your return to Peterborough. Is there kind of what goes into that? Is that just kind of luck of the draw, or you're just a big game dog type of thing like that?
I don't know. I guess it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, anytime games like that come around, I'm obviously a little more amped up for it, and I want to, have an impact on the game, but Whether that comes in scoring a goal or just getting a huge face-off or something like that, I mean, it doesn't really matter for me. It's just been fortunate that it's been a goal a couple times. So anytime, I can help my team win, if that's a goal, then that's great. And big games especially.
With your goal scoring prowess this year, I remember we talked at one point, you were like pretty happy to get one after it had seemed a while, but I mean, you've got 18 points in 17 games. What's clicking for you right now? And I mean, 9 of them are goals.
Yeah, I mean, my teammates have been helping me out a lot. Yesterday, Paulie found me a backdoor, real nice pass there. And, I can't get to 18 without my teammates early on here. And I think we've got a really good group of forwards where everyone's kind of, the scoring's pretty spread out, and everyone's getting a piece of the action. So, I'm just fortunate to be able to bury a couple home here early and try to keep it going. I mean, you mentioned Petey and Terry there that were on the podcast last week. They're my line mates right now, and they're a great couple to play with. So, we're looking to just keep it going.
And that was just a little sample of the interview with Dallin Wakely this week on the Frontline podcast, in which Ben Long and Courtney Kenny had the opportunity to sit down with Wakely to discuss Wake Sakes and the Indigenous Day and all of the involvement that Dallin has had within the community. And talking to Papa Mike just before today's game, a lot of it has to do with his uprising and how valuable his parents were in the raising of Dallin Wakely. And it really shows both on and off the ice what a great character player he is and a community member. A very bright future ahead for Dallin Wakely. Was invited to join the Ottawa Senators main camp this season alongside Kyle McDonald, who unfortunately is out of the lineup, and that has not been, we haven't been given a reason why he is out of the lineup, but he is. And when you take a look at the lineup, and especially with the movement that has happened over the last day, Josh Bloom coming in and Braden Hislop coming in, it really solidifies this North Bay Battalion team and gives them a lot of depth up front. Looking at the lineup, there's 9 strong forwards in this game tonight. And then you still have McDonald that's sidelined with him back. There's 10 strong forwards. And then you have Romani Precision, who's going to get some quality time, being that first-round draft pick for the Battalion last season. And then when Winslow and Mathern come back, there's 6 quality defense. I've really liked how Hislop looked alongside Ty Nelson in that first period. They seem to be like they've been playing together forever, the way they pass, the way they communicate on the ice. And that allows Houlihan to drop Alexander Lucan back to that second pairing with Alex Christopoulos. That was something that we've seen early on in the season. And on the Frontline podcast, we had talked to Alex about playing alongside Lucan, and that was one of the things that they really got along on the ice together. So that's, I think, just allowing Alexander Lucan a little bit more freedom and not as much pressure as playing on that front top pairing with Ty Nelson. So this Battalion team really looks built now for this season, and really interested to see if there's any more moves to be made and who it is before the deadline, because a lot of the key pieces are now in place for the North Bay Battalion moving forward. Looking at that first period of play, North Bay did a really good job shutting down the Kingston Frontnacs, really clogging up the neutral zone and not allowing the Kingston Frontnacs much time in the offensive zone. They only recorded 4 shots, and the one goal was a rebound goal by Callens as it was kicked off that right pad by Linus Hemstrom. That shot on Dom DeVincentis kicked out, and unfortunately a little bit of a miss. Defensive zone coverage allowed Callens to get that rebound and put it in the yawning cage, and that was the first goal of the game tonight. And the Battalion really showed character in pushing back and dominating. The puck movement between these forwards, the insertion of Michael Podolou with Nikita Tarasevich and Matvey Petrov really seemed to be like natural, that they've been playing all together. And they find themselves tied at one apiece, but the Kingston Frontnacs have to be lucky with that first period only coming out down by 1 goal, as Marcus Mason Vicari making 19, a lot of those really high-quality saves. Battalion ready to get back on the ice for the second period. When we come back on the Frontline broadcast, we'll be rejoined by by Matt Sukram and Andrew White for all of your second period of action.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Welcome back. Matthew Sugrum with you here alongside Andrew White. We're just 10 seconds into the second period here, and the North Bay Battalion still with 30 seconds to kill on their second penalty of the game that got carried over from the first period. The puck is into the Battalion zone. They look to center it at the line. Burns to the right side. Pass comes in right in the slot on the doorstep. DiVincentis looking for it, and he finds it in amongst some skates. Held onto for stoppage and play.
Plenty of players flying everywhere. There was a bit of a pile-up, a five-car pile-up behind the net there, but the netminder for the Battalion obviously pressed and dressed, and he's rested, and he's ready to go for the second period of this game.
Face-off won by the Frontnacs. At the line, it's Burns. To the left side, Arcuri chips it into the half boards for Ludwinski. Plays it in behind the net for Kalins. Kalins, the goal scorer of note for the Frontnacs, gets knocked down back there, and the puck is cleared down the ice. So with 4 seconds to go, the North Bay Battalion about to kill their second penalty of the game, and it remains 1-1, 19 minutes remaining in the period. But here come the Frontnacs, and they fan on another shot on the far side as Nelson gets in the way to break up that play. It's out to the neutral zone. Frontnacs win the puck battle on the half board, sent down into the North Bay end. Flipped around on the far side boards. That's picked up there by Jackson. Played across to the near side to Nelson. Out to the neutral zone for Hislop. Coming down the right wing side to the middle. Jackson coming in, fans with the shot. Gets a pass back to the far side. And it's deflected just wide by Bloom. Hislop at the blue line. Back into the corner for Bloom. In behind the net, Hache trying to clear for Kingston. He's blocked by Jackson. Jackson sends it on net. And Bloom's right there but can't deflect it home. Picked up by Hislop. Into the corner for Ernle. Back to the point. Nelson shot scores! Kid Nelly with another one! And the Battalion lead it 2-1.
And this was exactly what the Battalion were hoping for. Less than 2 minutes into the second period. We got a 2-1 game here. And the Battalion, if I was the North Bay bench boss, I'd say, guys, keep the fire going. Keep pouring the shots on the net. Something's going to break. And it just did.
The North Bay Battalion as we mentioned, we're putting on a shooting gallery in that first period. Ty Nelson had 4 of those shots, and I don't know how many that he had from the point that were blocked or went wide, but Nelson teed up a bunch of them. He finally gets one now to go in the back of the net. And for Ty Nelson, that's just another goal in what's becoming a terrific career for this young man out of Toronto, Ontario. North Bay's first overall draft pick in 2020, and the Seattle Kraken, third round draft pick last year, 68th overall in the NHL entry draft. And he's just made it 2-1 for North Bay.
And he's not that tall either, 5'10" in height. But he's got the girth on him, 203 pounds last time weighed in.
That is his 7th goal of the season. 17 points now for Ty Nelson, who actually leads all defensemen in shots taken this season. So sticking to that with 4 more shots tonight, or to make that 5 on that last goal. Here comes Terrien into the zone, into the corner, to the half boards, and then cleared out of the zone. Down the ice, it's picked up by Hislop, who's gotten a ton of ice time here with the Battalion in his first game in the white and green. He gets it up to Procession, but Procession is knocked down at the blue line, and it's sent back into the neutral zone. North Bay gets it right back. Terrien coming down the right wing side, plays it in the middle, but it actually skipped over the blue line before he got the pass back, and so offside is the call against the Battalion. 3 minutes into the second, 2-1 North Bay.
And of course, we were talking earlier pre-broadcast about the players to watch. Anthony Romani for the North Bay Battalion, number 50 in the center. 17 games played, 4 goals, 7 assists, and 1 game-winning goal as well. He's one of the players we're watching this evening.
Play into the North Bay zone, taken away immediately by Nelson. Flips it up to the neutral zone to Wakely. Wakely controls the puck going in, sets it up to Arnsby, and his shot is stopped by the goaltender, Vicari. Wow, the Battalion, their passing game has been pretty spot on to this point in the contest.
And like I mentioned last time, I was mentioning about the struggles they were having with Kitchener. What we saw last game was there was a lot of overpassing, chasing the puck. Whenever they tried to get the shot off, it wasn't very well coordinated. They ended up either shooting it right past the keeper or right at the keeper. They struggled with their tape-to-tape passing, but not this game, not this time. The shots are staggering, 22-5 for the Battalion.
Play back underway inside the North Bay zone. Centering pass to Arnsby, and the puck didn't go anywhere, but as he fired it, he connected with the stick of Ludwinski, and that stick almost went over the glass and became a souvenir. But play continues now, and it's all the way back into the North Bay end. Hache with the puck, sends it in towards the net. It's caught up in the skates of Ludwinski, and he carries it into the near side corner. Now he chips it along the end boards to the far side corner, carries it down to the hash marks. He gets knocked away from the puck and cleared out of the zone. Shot right back in. North Bay clears it right back out. It's Wakely to the far side. The pass is deflected way up high, and it'll go out of play. 4 minutes into the second period, it's a 2-1 North Bay lead.
And on the Kingston Frontnacs side, one of the players we're watching tonight is Owen Outwater. Now, if he sounds like a familiar name to you, he should. He was the first-round draft pick for the North Bay Battalion in 2021. So you blink twice, you turn around, you touch the ground, and here he is playing for the other side.
North Bay win the draw in the Frontnacs zone, but it's stolen quickly by the Frontnacs, and carrying it out is Soto. Down the right wing side, Soto gets knocked in the corner. Into the far side corner, the puck left there by Soto, and North Bay trying to get it out of the zone. It's picked up by Hislop in the far side. He carries it now in behind the net, sends it back to the corner. Clearing attempt is blocked. Kingston with a chance. It's Outwater. He gets a shot off, but then he gets knocked down by his former compadre Nelson as the puck just slowly makes its way to DiVincentis, who covers it up for a stoppage in play. 15:34 to go in period number 1. It is a 2-1 lead for the North Bay Battalion. You mentioned Outwater, Andrew. He's coming in and he's having a very good season. for the black and gold. 5 goals and 16 points on the year, so not doing too bad in his new digs. Playback underway, North Bay out of the zone. Jackson coming down the left wing side and fires it over the glass and out of play, trying to take a shot in the Kingston zone.
Some of the fire this evening coming toward the Battalion is also coming from Matthew Soto from the Kingston Frontnacs. 19 games before this game, so it'll be 20 after tonight's third period, unless of course the game goes into OT. 7 goals, 12 assists for Soto.
Playback underway as the Battalion can't hold the puck inside the Frontenac zone, and now they've got control of it in the neutral zone. Picked up on the far side by Bloom. Dumps it in on the half boards. A couple of guys converge over there. It's shoveled along the boards, in behind the net, picked up by the Frontenacs and cleared up ahead to Curry. Josh Curry coming down the left wing side, makes his move to the middle, goes to the right side, dishes it off, in behind the net, tried to find Thibodeau, plays broken up by Kennedy, plays it on the half boards, and Kennedy gets it up to the blue line. Kept in the zone by the Frontenacs Haché, and then the shot comes in, and it's deflected right into the glove of Dom DiVincentis, who had to be quick on the draw there, as it was just an errant pass, and it got deflected towards him. He had to make sure he was going to be able to see that bounce all the way in.
It was a quick look what I found, but what it does is it reaches the back of the leather, is it keeps the North Bay Battalion 1 goal ahead of the visitors.
Inside the North Bay zone, it is Turley with the puck for the Battalion behind his own net. Gets it up to the blue line to Tarasevic. He dumps it down the ice for Petrov coming into the zone, but they're going to call Petrov offside on the far side. So 14:27 to go in the second period. It's a 2-1 lead for the North Bay Battalion.
After tonight, the North Bay Battalion, we have a game tomorrow, the 19th, up against, who is it, Oshawa? No, Owen Sound, excuse me. They're the top of the Midwest, the division, and that game gets going at 7:30. They're home for one more game, and then they hit the road for 5, and making stops in Hamilton, Niagara, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, Kingston, and Peterborough.
Yeah, it's been a heavy dose of road cooking for the North Bay Battalion to start this season. This is only their 7th home game, and they are 4-2 in those contests here at home at Memorial Gardens, 12-5 overall. Great start to this season for the North Bay Battalion.
The next game for the Battalion is next month here in the Memorial Gardens.
Right.
After the road trip, they welcome Sault Ste. Marie for a 7 p.m. start, December 8th. Of course, ticket to the box office or at battalionhockey.com.
Sent down the ice, deflected by Soto in the corner. It's picked up by Christopoulos in his own zone. He sends it to the far side to Terrien, who gets it up ahead to Procession. Procession over to Romani. Enter in the zone. The shot, and it goes off the glove of the goaltender in the Frontenacs end, and he's able to keep it out, and the Frontenacs are able to clear. Play back into the Frontenac zone. Ludwinski looks to bring it out. Ludwinski falls down at the blue line, and now Terrien going the other way. Terrien tries to get around a couple of guys. It's dropped back to the line. Christopoulos there, takes a shot, save made. Rebound chance on the side of the net. Can't bury it. Another one passed to the middle, but our Curry is going to take that one away for the Kingston Frontenacs.
It was so close. They rang the bell out front, but no one was home to pick it up.
Van Steensel coming back in the zone with speed, going down the right wing side. Played in behind the net to the far side board. Van Steensel tries to get to the line. That's taken away by the Frontenacs, but Christopoulos very quickly slapped it off the stick of our Curry. In the neutral zone, North Bay looking to control it. It's off a skate of Arnsby and kicked to the far side boards. Williamson and Van Steensel battle for it over there. Now the puck moves into the Kingston zone. They get it back out quickly. Coming down the ice is Hemstrom. He gets pressured by Nelson. They go to the far side boards. Now the pass comes across to the near side. It's deflected away and picked up by Wakely, who goes the other way. Wakely for the Battalion in the zone. Takes a shot, and it's a blocker save made by Vicari. Puck sent around to the near boards to the half boards on the near side to our Curry, and he dumps it down into the North Bay end. 11:45 to play in the second period. 2-1 North Bay lead. And it was almost 3 and even 4 a couple of times in that those last couple of shifts by the Battalion. Thibodeau entering the attacking zone for the Frontnacs. Shot is blocked. Comes back to the line. That's Hache. Sends it to the right side boards to Schneider. Bass across to the near side. Thibodeau can't get the shot off. Ricocheted off the boards to the line. Kept in by Hache briefly. But now it's cleared out. Foot race to it. Down the other way. Bloom going in. Bloom gets control of the puck. Stops at the half boards. Sends it across the zone. He tried to get to Jackson, but it's deflected away from him and carried out of the zone by Curry. Curry at the North Bay blue line. Tries to get the puck back. Broken up by Jackson of the Battalion. He tries to feed up ahead to Bloom. It's just out of his reach, and that will be icing called. 10:56 to go in the second period. It is a 2-1 North Bay lead.
DeVanchentis coming in is from Bolton, Ontario. And Winnipeg draft pick in the 7th round, 207th overall. It's quite the honor for an OHL goalie to be drafted by the NHL, as there are very few that move from one step to the other, being in the netminder's position, of course.
Yeah, and especially coming off a season where he wasn't even the starter for the North Bay Battalion last year.
Right.
Had a great year, though. Got into 27 games. 2.59 goals against average, a .907 save percentage, and a 14-8-0-1 record. Not a lot of backup goalies get drafted, let alone, as you said, goalies in general going through the NHL draft.
Yeah,
but
talk to the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds about your goalie going to the NHL.
Right. So we've got a penalty coming up here. Terrian got penalized at the end of that play. Not sure if it was for roughing or what the officials saw there. But
and now we're waiting to see as well.
They haven't put anything up on the scoreboard either. So unless it's a misconduct, it's 10 and a 10. No, it can't be 10 and a 10. That makes no sense. We were just given this signal.
Yeah.
The hands flash. So 10 minutes. 10-minute misconduct for a mouth guard violation. I remember when they first brought that rule in, it was just a 2-minute penalty, but now it's become a misconduct. Down the other way, here comes the Battalion, pass across to Jackson, and he scores! Kyle Jackson has his second of the game, and the Battalion now lead 3-1.
And it's the break they were looking for with all of these shots, one after another. Now they've got an edge. We won't call it an insurance goal yet, but it's the edge that they were looking for. Nearly halfway drained in this period. We've got a 3-1 hockey game.
Kyle Jackson, as we mentioned, Seattle Kraken draft pick, getting picked up by the Kraken in the 7th round of the NHL entry draft. And remember, that was his second time being eligible for the draft. He was not picked up in his first year after a 22-point season. So he said, okay, I'll come back and have an even better year. 30 goals, 32 assists, 62 points for Kyle Jackson last year, truly earning his shot at an NHL contract someday, and definitely getting one. Should be in his books if he keeps up this kind of play. He's up to 9 goals now and 21 points, but they are reviewing it, so we'll have to wait and see what the official call is.
Yeah.
Anything that you saw that maybe they could be reviewing?
It looked like a clean shot to me, but, I'm all the way up here, so we'll have to see what they said. Like you said, Jackson, an NHL draft pick with Seattle Kraken, round 7, 196 overall. So, and that's the thing to watch. You know that you're in a good seed position with your team when you've got 7 NHL draft picks in your lines.
Yeah, that's it's certainly rare. Oh, so they're looking to see if it was an offside against the North Bay Battalion. So we'll wait to see if they put something up on the board that we can see and review for ourselves, although our opinion isn't going to matter anyway on the result of that. But you're right, 7 NHL draft picks, including the one that they just picked up in the Saginaw Spirit with Josh Bloom coming over. But, there had been a couple of years here where the North Bay Battalion had maybe one or two guys. There were a couple of years where the battalion didn't have anybody on their roster that was drafted. So to look at their roster and see all these NHL teams listed beside names, you know that the franchise has turned a corner here.
And you know that the storybook does come true for a lot of these players. Just ask Nick Paul, ask Mike Amadio. Of course, I'm mad at Nick
Barclay
Paul.
Goodrow.
Well, I'm still mad at Nick Paul as being a Leafs fan. What he did with Tampa. I'm still working through that personally. I did all these interviews with Nick. He went with Team Canada to the World Juniors, won gold. Thanks a lot for nothing. So I'm only kidding. We wish him all the best. But like you were mentioning earlier, all these NHL draft picks, it's exciting to see.
I think Nick Paul is also a real success story in terms of he wasn't drafted in his first year being eligible in the OHL.
Yeah, with
right?
Ottawa.
Yeah. And then he gets traded around a couple times. Finally, starts to find some rhythm. Gets picked up by the Tampa Bay Lightning in a trade deadline deal. Wins a Stanley Cup with them, and then ends up signing, a 6-year deal that he ended up signing with them in the offseason. I mean, like I said, sometimes dreams do come true for kids like that, and you know what? Like, that right there, for any player coming into the battalion locker room, all they have to do is look at that story. I mean, again, they can also look to the Barclay Goodrow story, a guy who wasn't drafted at all out of the OHL, just signed as a free agent by the San Jose Sharks, and goes on to win 2 Stanley Cups.
And these guys, whenever I've interviewed any of these guys, Mike Amadio and Nick Paul and like you mentioned, I mean, it's one of these things that they always mention. They said to me, I remember Nick said to me in an interview once, he says, I'm just going to show them I have no quit. Everything I do, it's going to be full tilt all the way. I'm going to show them I have a 200-foot game plus. So
absolutely,
obviously it's working for them.
All right, so they are still reviewing the play to see if the Kyle Jackson goal was offside. And as we have a minute, we can tell you about some special ticket packages that the North Bay Battalion have. It's a great way to break it up if you can't afford, or not if you can't afford monetary-wise, but if you just can't afford the time to come here to every single home game. There are different packages that you can pick up. There's the Snowbird package, which is geared towards folks that may be taking off during the winter months when, funny enough, is when most of the hockey is being played. But there is that. There's a weekend package where, if you work during the week and you can only make it to the home games, it's all Saturday and Sunday games there. There's the weeknight where if you're on the reverse side, right, maybe you work on the weekends and can't make it to the rink, so there's a package for all the weeknight games. There's the holiday package as well, where you'll get all the games that are taking place over the Christmas break. So there's a lot of good packages there for Battalion fans to come down to the Gardens and see their team. Again, if you're not able to dish it out and get season tickets over the course of the year, there's other ways you can come and support the team.
And we've seen a lot of kids tonight. Lots of things, lots of activities going on for the youngsters of all ages here at Memorial Gardens with Teddy Bear tosses and troops nights and everything else. It's a great place to be. I got lots of buddies, lots of friends. They're friends. Even their grandparents have season passes. They bring the grandkids. It's always a good time. And of course, as they're still waiting for play to go ahead, it looks like we've got a decision from the center ice.
Looks like a good goal.
And we've got a good goal. If we can get on with this hockey game, I was getting a little nervous. Sarge was dancing to Shania Twain, so I was really looking forward to getting this game going again. There's some things you just can't unsee, Matthew.
I heard Sarge had tickets to Boots and Hearts this past year, so.
Well, good for him. Enjoy the show.
There we go. Playback underway, and you wonder if that break is going to benefit the Kingston Frontnacs. Had a chance to kind of regroup. And we'll see what happens here. Off the draw, it's in the Frontnacs zone, cleared quickly. And now sent back into the Frontnacs zone. It's Tarasevic to the line. Place it in behind the net to Palu. Tried to center it to Petrov, but it's past his stick. It goes to the line. Lukin's there to the half board. Shot comes in, deflected away in front of the net, and picked up by the Frontnacs, and they will clear the zone. Paul Hughes carrying it down the ice. Into the corner in the North Bay end. Couple guys battle back there. Lukin knocked down. Christopoulos looking to pick it up for him. He does get it. Sets it up to Petrov, who finds Tarasevic in the neutral zone, coming in on the right wing side. Goes to the boards, is pressured off the puck on the check, and it's going the other way as Kalins gets it up to line. Christopoulos stops it there, gives it over to Luke Kennedy, who's on the ice now. And Kennedy gets it up to Tarasevic. He tries procession, coming in on 2-1, over to Bloom. Point blank shot, and he scores! Bloom! It's all about the boom with that shot! And he makes his presence felt in a North Bay uniform with his first goal as a member of the troops.
It was a shotgun of a blast from almost point-blank range. His 8th in the Battalion uniform out of 19 games. He's got 9 assists, and man, he makes this one count tonight as the North Bay Battalion now have a 4-1 lead up against the visitors.
I mean, I really liked how that whole play developed. Just getting the puck to the far side boards in the neutral zone, flipping it over to Procession. And again, Procession coming off that World Under-17 tournament, he did not look like a rookie on that play. Took his time, found his partner, and there's another chance in front of the net. And that one just goes wide. But again, just to finish it off, coming in on 2-on-1, a lot of first-year players maybe are a little anxious, want to get the shot off, but knowing he had a 19-year-old with him coming down the right wing side, Procession took his time, fed it over to Bloom, and Bloom did not miss.
And shows himself to be shows the rest of us, that is, why he's a Buffalo Sabres round 3 draft pick.
All right, we've reached the halfway point of the second period. North Bay lead 4-1. We'll be right back.
This period is brought to you by Canadore Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks for more information.
All right, Matt Sucrum with you here alongside Andrew White. It's 4-1 lead for the North Bay Battalion. And like you said, Josh Bloom showing why he was a very good pickup for Adam Dennis and the North Bay Battalion. But, you know, I was talking to a couple people in the intermission. They said it's a smart time to make a move like that because now you're not getting into a bidding war with other teams who may be looking for a Josh Bloom type guy at the trade deadline.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was mentioning in the pre-show, sometimes it's all about the numbers. The game isn't just on the ice. Sometimes it's a game of chess about how you move your pieces around, how you move your players around, and of course you're hoping to set these guys up for the best opportunities as well as your own team.
And not in the lineup tonight is Kyle McDonald, big presence. So you just wait until you add a 20-year-old Kyle McDonald to. I mean, you can it's almost like pick your poison on which line you're going to put him on at this point.
A 20-year-old who weighs almost 220 pounds
yeah.
as well.
And who a lot of people say might have the heaviest slap shot in the OHL, certainly at least within the Central Division of the Eastern Conference. I mean, when Kyle McDonald, he might have a challenger in Josh Bloom now.
Maybe.
To see whose slap shot is bigger.
Well, they say that a good punch or a good pitch is all in the legs.
That's it.
And if that's true with a slap shot as well, you can see where he finds the power.
7:51 to go in period number 2. First, a 4-1 lead. And remember, Terry Ann is still in the box for that 10-minute misconduct for the mouthguard violation. Getting word that apparently he was warned in the first period about having it improperly. So unfortunately for Terriani, he gets he just basically gets in trouble.
It's like a delay of game.
Yeah.
It's like it's such an avoidable penalty. And if I was your boss bench, bench boss, that's not a discussion I would want to have after the game.
Absolutely. North Bay back in their defensive zone looking for the puck, but it's centered at the blue line to Budnick, but he can't hold it. North Bay clear. They're coming down the ice. Wakely just couldn't hold on to the puck. Drop back to the neutral zone. Nelson there flips it towards the netminder, and he'll hold on to it for a stoppage in play. 7:11 remaining in the period. 4-1 the score, North Bay, and they are out shooting the Frontnacs 26-7 overall. They've held them to 3 shots in this period after holding them to 4 shots in the first period.
After tonight, the Kingston Frontnacs are on a 5-game road trip. Mississauga last night, including tonight, they're on a 5-game road trip. Mississauga last night, the Troops tonight. Then they're making stops tomorrow in Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury on Sunday, up against the Wolves.
Stewart was just escorted to the box, and now he's being asked to leave as well, and because he's got a mouth guard violation.
I don't understand this. This is part of the uniform. How do you have a mouth guard violation?
So because there's less than 10 minutes left in the second period, they're not going to put him in the box. They're just going to send him to the locker room. So he'll come back with about 17 minutes remaining in the third period or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Terrian is eligible to come back in the next few minutes here.
But like I said earlier, I mean, it's hard to know what's going on here with the motivation, but it's such an avoidable penalty.
Yeah.
It's like a delay of game. I mean, earlier we were taking a look at a review of goal in regards to offside, which is not always avoidable, but things like this certainly are.
Absolutely. Pass across to Jackson inside the Frontnac zone. He tries to feed it back through the slot. That got blocked off his skate, redirected towards the goaltender. And he'll hold on to it for a stoppage in play. 6:13 to go in the second period. 4-1 North Bay lead. And I think if you're head coach Ryan Olhan, you've got to be happy with the entire lineup tonight. I mean, I think either every line has been responsible for at least one goal tonight, or they've at least looked good out there. There's a shot from Petrov off the draw that goes right into the glove of the goaltender Vicari. But yeah, I mean, every line comes out there, and they're just making things difficult for the Frontnacs.
Petrov is coming in from Moscow, Russia, the NHL draft pick, round 6 to the Edmonton Oilers in 2021. And he's the squadron leader with 9 goals before tonight, 17 games played, 14 assists.
Petrov's also up to a lengthy point streak as well.
That's right.
There's a shot. Actually, that point streak, I believe, started against these Kingston Frontnacs back in that game on October 7th. And that 4-3 shootout win as that puck gets bouncing towards the netminder Vicari, and it's held on to for stoppage and play.
Like I mentioned earlier, both these teams have a bit of an agenda, not necessarily with each other, but sort of with each other. The Kingston Frontnacs losing to the North Bay Battalion in a shootout loss last time these two clubs met. The North Bay Battalion looking to get back on a win streak after falling to the Rangers 4-1 on Sunday, and of course the Frontnacs dropping the past 2 games, falling to Mississauga 4-3 before getting pounded by Ottawa 7-1.
Yeah, so a bit of a scuffle right now for the Frontnacs, and this is not a way to end that so far. No,
and how do you get back on track with 5:23 left to drain in the second period when you're trailing by 3 goals.
But these are the kinds of games for the North Bay Battalion that, again, looking to bounce back from the loss to the Kitchener Rangers. Head coach Ryan Olhan talked about it in the weekly scrum about how it's not good to lose, but sometimes you need to have that reset after playing so well just to kind of figure out where you are. Centering pass to Orangeby, and his shot gets blocked. The captain picks it up on the half boards on the near side, plays it into the corner, now to the far side to Romani. Back to the point, Hislop. Across to the near side, Nelson. Back to the left side, Romani's there. The shot goes high over the glass and out of play.
And
So,
even,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, even when you're leading 4-1, you can't let up. Not for 1 second. The North Bay Battalion first in the Central. The Rangers, I hate to keep badgering this point, but the Rangers fourth in the Midwest. And when the Rangers got a hold of the Battalion 4-1, the Battalion just didn't have time to catch up. Yeah, they finished 4-3, but sometimes you just need to get as close as looking at the front door, and then it comes up short in order to reset.
And I think that work in the third period has certainly carried over to this game now for the North Bay Battalion. And if you're going to be one of the top-tier teams, as that shot goes over the glass and out of play from Kennedy off the face-off, if you're going to be one of the top teams in the OHL, these are the kinds of bounce-back games that you want to play.
That's right.
And these are the kinds of games where, you might have been frustrated in that first period when nothing was going in, but once you get something, open the floodgates and don't let off.
And once the playoffs come around, as I heard one particular North Bay coach say, all that matters in the playoffs is results.
That's it.
Right? All that matters at the end of the day in the playoffs is results. Who's got more goals, who's got more wins. But this early in the season, you've still got room for a few wins and a few losses mixed in there to kind of help your team structure how they want the rest of their season to go.
That's it. Play underway, 4:16 to go. Nelson at the line. His shot blocked by Ludwinski. Carried out, and he gets it up to Soto. Soto tries to chip it into the zone. That gets, it does go in, but none of the Frontnacs had control of it as it trickled into the far side corner, and the North Bay Battalion are able to get a pass across to the near side and carried out by Orangeby. Orangeby fires it in, looking for that big bounce off the end boards. It goes to the stick of Van Steensel. He fans on the shot, and the puck clears the zone. Back in the neutral zone, Orangeby gets it again. Coming in on the left wing side, sent in towards Van Steensel, just out of his reach, and he had wide open cage on the glove side to shoot for. Back across the far side, Orangeby there again, and the blocker save is made. It's punched in the far side corner for Ertl. He picks it up and carries it around to the near side. Ertl walking under the circle, stops at the blue line, sends it to the half boards on the far side, to the middle, the shot from Jackson, just wide. Remember, he's got 2 tonight already, Kyle Jackson. It's picked up by Ertl. Tried to get a pass through the slot. That got blocked. Kalins picks it up, and Kalins will clear it out of the zone. Sometimes it's looking like the North Bay Battalion are on the power play when they're cycling the puck around the zone like that. But they're not. Like, it is impressive puck movement. And now here's a chance the other way. Arcuri dangles in front of DiVincentis, and he scores on the backhand. Francesco Arcuri with a highlight reel goal of his own, and he cuts the lead in half. It's 4-2.
It's a very quiet goal from the near side to the far side. Skates right out in front of the netminder, and we've got the Kingston Frontnacs have cut this lead to 2.
Francesco Arcuri has been a bit of a thorn in the side of the Battalion over the course of his career. I mean, it seems like he likes playing these guys. I don't know how many games he's gone against them where he hasn't scored a goal. He also scored the overtime winner in the Frontnacs' lone win in that semifinal series last postseason.
6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing 200 pounds. He's a big boy, and he's got the NHL draft with Dallas.
And so Arcuri is up to 14 goals and 19 points on the season now. Yeah, famed Dallas Stars fan Chris Dawson giving the thumbs up. Can you see a future Dallas Star player right before his eyes? Play back underway. 2:20 to go. It's all of a sudden a 2-goal lead for the North Bay Battalion. Sent down the ice. Podolou chasing it, but icing will be the call as Hache beats out Podolou to get to the puck. I was talking about this with PA announcer Scott Walpole filling in for Bob Coles tonight. Walpole is a Buffalo Sabres fan. So for the Battalion to get Josh Bloom, he's like, all right.
Yeah.
You know, we get to see a future Buffalo Sabres guy every time the Battalion play. As a Leaf fan, the Battalion have not, since they moved here, have not ever had a Maple Leafs prospect.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Buffalo Sabres need to take their wins when they can get them. You know? Oh, sorry.
That's what I said to him.
Was that too much? Did I go too far on the broadcast here?
You know, they've lost 7 in a row, but they've got the Leafs coming up on their schedule.
Yeah.
It has all the makings to be to snap that 7-game losing streak, doesn't it?
We'll see who owes who a coffee after that game.
That's exactly it. 1:50 to go in the second period. 4-2 score for the North Bay Battalion. Procession has the puck in the neutral zone. Flips it over to the far side. Now it's drop back to Procession. Trying to get a shot through a couple of legs, but it doesn't go anywhere. And now it's chipped to the near side. Christopoulos feeds it down the half boards. Back in the middle. Jackson's there. Can't get a shot off as Battaglia is all over him, getting the puck away. And now Battaglia skates it down the ice. Coming in, the shot deflected, and it goes into the far side corner. Sent to the line. To the near side. One-time shot from Hughes is stopped. Rebound in the slot. Takes a shot. Save made. Another third chance, and DiVincentis is able to find it among some skates. Well, the Frontnacs starting to have some pushback late here in the second period.
And we got some pushing and shoving out front of the net here. The black and white trying to keep it all clear, trying to keep the game going here. And of course the Kingston Frontnacs showing that they can go from skills to drills, as they've lost a lot of talented players. But they're doing the hard work. They're doing the foot pursuit, the 200-foot game. But of course, picking up Josh Curry from the North Bay Battalion, Owen Outwater from the North Bay Battalion. They've really had their work cut out for them, and they're showing it. They're showing it here tonight that they can do the hard work.
Face-off won by Wakely to the half-boards in the North Bay zone, but they can't clear. Frontnacs had control, but now the Battalion do clear. Sent down the ice. Arsby going towards the puck off the end boards, and he gets shoved into the end boards as he tried to play that puck at the side of the net. The puck is touched by the Frontnacs. The whistle goes, and it's going to be a late penalty here coming up against the Kingston Frontnacs. It looks like it's going to be Quentin Burns going into the box.
And Mr. Burns doesn't seem to like this very much, trying to plead his case with the referee, but
he would say that's not so excellent.
But he's trying to plead his case up against. We're getting some head shakes here. He's trying to plead his case with the referee, who doesn't seem to be interested, and the Battalion have a 2-minute power play to work with.
Quentin Burns, left shot D with 9 assists on the season in his second year here in the OHL. Been a pretty productive player for the Kingston Frontnacs. No goals, but you'll take those 9 assists from the back end.
That's right.
But the Battalion on the power play. Nelson, big-time slap shot off the blocker of the goaltender Vicari into the far side corner. It's Jackson centering down to the goal line. Erdl trying to center it back, and it's taken away. Good job getting in the way by Ludwinski, and it's sent down the ice. 25 seconds remaining in the second period. 4-2 North Bay lead. Puck sent to the far side. Jackson coming in. Jackson knocked down at the blue line. Can't get the puck in. And the Frontnacs have some time to kill in the neutral zone as Curry just wastes some time. Now he tries to dump it in. It's blocked. North Bay going back the other way. Petrov tries to get to the middle. Nelson's there. Trying to take a whack at it. It's blocked and sent down the ice. And that will end the second period here. The North Bay Battalion add 3 goals to their total, but they give one back. It's 4-2 after 40 minutes, and they'll have 1:03 remaining on the power play when they return.
Ty Nelson let a firecracker go off the slap shot there. Ty Nelson, of course, Toronto boy, third-round draft pick with the Seattle Kraken, and like we mentioned earlier, he's got some girth to him. Just north of 200 pounds, 5'10". That's not a slap shot I would want to stand in front of.
Absolutely not. All right. He's Andrew White. I'm Matthew Seargrim. So thank you so much for joining us so far. Derek will have your second period intermission coming up right after this. You're watching the Average Joe's Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And welcome back inside Memorial Gardens for the second intermission. I'm your host, Derek Litterman. I'm pleased to be joined by the one and only Courtney Kinney. I've been asking for you all night to be on this broadcast. Finally, I got you here. So welcome.
It's like pulling teeth to get me on this broadcast, Derek.
Oh, look at those pucks flying out there.
That'd be an easy way to lose some teeth. Just go stand down there.
So let's take a look at the scoring summary for the second period. The teams went into this period tied at 1, and the Battalion got 3 unanswered goals to take a 4-1 lead. The first one coming off of the stick of Ty Nelson, his 7th of the season, 1:38 into the second period. Braden Hislop and Justin Ertl with the assist on that one. Kyle Jackson made it a 2-goal advantage at 9:31. Ertl and Petrov with the assist on Jackson's 9th goal of the season, and then his first of his North Bay Battalion career. Josh Bloom at 10:42 made it a 4-1 lead. Precision and Tarasavage assisting on Bloom's 8th goal of the season, and then just before the 4-minute mark of the second period, Francesco Arcuri, his 14th of the season from Thibodeau and Hache, made it a 4-2 game, and that's where we stand after 40 minutes. A few more penalties in that period as a couple of guys got in trouble for having their mouth guards out of their mouth as they were chewing on them. First of all, Jacob Terrian went off at 9:04, and then Jackson Stewart for those mouth guard infractions. 10-minute misconducts, both of those players. And then Quentin Burns got the only real penalty of that period. He went off for holding at 19:02. So the Battalion will have 1:03 left in their power play to start the third period of play. Shots again, the North Bay Battalion doubling the Kingston Frontnacs in that second period. Frontnacs 5 for a total of 9, and the Battalion 10 for a total of 30. Again, neither team has yet to score on the power play. 0 for 2 both teams, and the Battalion still dominating in the face-off circle. 32-15 are the face-off wins. 2 other games going on in the OHL tonight on this late Thursday night. First of all, the Saginaw Spirit, or Flint Firebirds, Saginaw Spirit.
We'll get there eventually.
My eyesight. The Saginaw Spirit have fought their way back to be tied with the Ice Dogs 2-2 after the second period of play, and then I lost the third game. It was 4-0 for the Peterborough Petes just near the end of the second period. They are hosting the Oshawa Generals, so they're not the nicest of hosts tonight. The Peterborough Petes. In the NHL...
Hey, they just made a pretty big move themselves, so...
Yeah. They made the first splash in the trade pool in the Eastern Conference, and then today, the Sarnia Sting making a big splash, picking up Pastajaw from the Guelph Storm. Hearing those deals with Guelph are not finished yet, as they are really looking to move some of their older talent. In the NHL tonight, the New Jersey Devils now have a 2-1 lead over Courtney's Toronto Maple Leafs after 2 periods of play. Other NHL highlights, the Montreal Canadiens have scored 2 unanswered goals in the second period, and they're now tied with the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's 2 apiece. The Calgary Flames still trail the Tampa Bay Lightning 1-0. That's near the end of the second period. And in Winnipeg, the Anaheim Ducks have jumped out to a 1-0 lead over the Jets with 5 minutes left in the second period. But Courtney, you've got to see 2 periods of hockey from the broadcast booth of Josh Bloom and Brandon Hislop. Your first impressions of those two?
First off, I have to say, as much as I love being a part of the broadcast, it's always fun to just kind of come to the game and just sit there and actually take in a hockey game. Although I'm stuck sitting next to Chris Dawson right now, so one could argue it's not really all that fun. Josh Bloom and Braden Hislop both have come as advertised. Josh Bloom had a bit of speed through the neutral zone to get a Kingston player away from the puck early in that second period. It was inconsequential. They didn't get a shot on the play. But just to get past the guy and man his way up there and get the puck, you really see why the Buffalo Sabres drafted him and signed him. And then of course scoring a goal. He was given way too much time in Kingston's zone, way too much time, and basically they gave him the whole upper portion of the net. He said, "All right, thanks. Like, here you go." Scores a goal in his first game with the Battalion. Hislop has been playing with Nelson. Well, we've seen him up and down the D pairings, but he started the night with Nelson. And really, I'm sure for him that's kind of a bit of a trial by fire. As you know, Ty Nelson is anything like I shouldn't say anything but a stay-at-home defenseman, because he is good defensively as well. But if he sees an opportunity, he's going for it. So you really have to show how good defensively you are. And you know what? He's looked good. He's had some chances up the ice too in the offensive zone where he tried to skate around a couple of guys with the puck. You can just tell that some guys like Nelson have the hands, and he might not necessarily get it, but that's not where his specialty lies. No. And but the fact that he's trying to activate and stuff just really plays into why the Battalion liked him, how he's going to fit in Ryan Houlihan's plan. And you have to remember what we're seeing out of these guys now. As much as we like what we're seeing, they're not going to be seeing players in a month or two when they've fully integrated into the system.
Yeah, and you know what? And even Hislop has an assist in that second period, so both of them getting points in their first game. You got to sit up here from the broadcast booth. I managed my way to get between the benches for that second period, and just the dynamics that you hear and feel on that North Bay Battalion bench, and especially with Hislop and Ty Nelson, just the communication that they have both on and off the ice. You can really feel it down there, and that connection has already developed between those two, and it's really nice to see. And just going back to that first period, there was a moment where Tarian took that hit. It was a hit to the head in which the Kingston Frontnacs got penalized on it, and who was the first player over there to get Tarian up and check on him was Braden Tisloff. So that's just showing that experience and that leadership. So it's really nice seeing how they gel down there on the ice. But the best moment, I got to say, between the benches was on that lengthy offside review and listening to Ty Nelson sing some Celine Dion. Something he wouldn't do on the podcast for you.
No, well, that's the thing, right? He talks about Karaoke Tuesday at the Billet House, and yet the only player that sang for us so far is Dallin Wakely, and even then he only gave us like 2 lines of that Cha-Cha Slide, but I'll give it to him. The fact that he did it, and then after we interviewed Wakely, it was revealed that Owen Van Steensel and Mackenzie Campbell are in the room with him. So he did that with his teammate Owen Van Steensel in the same room as him. So I got to give him credit for that. But anyways, that being said, yeah, I'm going to have words with Mr. Ty Nelson about that. You got to sing on the podcast when you come on the podcast. You can't just sing. And I believe it was actually Shania Twain.
Oh, Shania.
Not Celine Dion. Correct country of birth with Canada. Wrong artist, though. I mean, one is famous for country music, the other one's famous for Titanic. So, no, she's famous for more reasons than that. And we're getting completely off topic, but that's why does it always go to music? I don't get it. It always turns into a music podcast. At the end of the day. Ben Long's not even here tonight.
I know. We still get to talk country music and music in general.
Well, he wouldn't talk country music with us. He'd be like, "No, we're shutting that down right now." But anyways, I guess it's fair to say we have a country flavor here, thanks to our wonderful producer here this evening, Drew Ferris. So we got to have a bit of a country flavor here in this game. But I'm going to have words with him and say, hey, man, come on, what's going on? Why aren't you singing for us, but you'll sing on the bench? I guess he didn't think that you were listening. So.
No, but and also being down there, we talked about earlier about the fluency and the speed going through the neutral zone.
Yeah.
Really, when you're on that red line between those benches, you can really see it when you're down there and just how fast these players are moving through that neutral zone. Petrov's getting that puck, and he's in the zone with only 2 or 3 strides. Meanwhile, when you're looking at Kingston Frontnacs, they're almost standing still and getting the Battalion D are forcing them to get that pucks in, and they're not just having their feet moving to get into that zone. And then again, the Battalion just doing an excellent job keeping them to the outside. Again, one little mental mistake, allowing a Curry to get free and basically having a breakaway from the blue line in, and really Dom had no chance on that goal.
No, and it was a bit of a breakdown of sorts. I mean, Dom didn't have much of a chance, but Kennedy kind of trying to take away the pass, but at some point you got to play the shooter too, right? And he was way out of position, and that's going to be corrected, of course. Wyatt Kennedy's looked very good for the Battalion this year, and this is a development league, of course, so I'm not nagging on Wyatt Kennedy, just that was my observation of that goal. So hopefully that can be nipped in the bud, so to speak. But other than that, even though he's allowed 2 goals on 9 shots, Dom DiVincentis has made some good saves in this game. And really, when you look at the shot totals, 30-9, it tells part of the story, but in this game, the Battalion have been far and away the better team.
Oh, much better. And really, the difference I found between the first and the second period is that the shots are actually going in. The quality of shots are still there, but Mason Vicari hasn't been making those timely saves in which he needs to do for the Kingston Frontnacs.
Yeah.
And he was doing that in the first period, but he was doing it save after save after save, and it's just it's getting a little too much. And the quality of the shots, like that wrist shot by Ty Nelson, he coming off the point, letting it go from just above the circle, just unbelievable how he was able to roof that over top of that glove hand. Really, I don't think anyone would have been stopping that one.
No, and I probably shouldn't admit, but I offered during the first intermission, sitting next to Voodoo's general manager, Chris Dawson. I said, hey, I'm going to go down and grab a drink, and do you want anything? He said, yeah, I'd love a popcorn. So, of course, I get down there. There's no popcorn.
You did promise some popcorn earlier today.
I did. So anyways, there's none made, so I had to wait for it. So I'm down there, and I hear the crowd roar, so I missed the Nelson goal entirely.
Well, I missed the first goal because I was in the elevator coming up because it came at the end of the first period. I was trying to get back up here for the first segment of our intermission.
You know what was funny about that goal was moments before. So Voodoo's general manager Chris Dawson's here, Voodoo's head coach Peter Goulet's here, and both of them are a wealth of information to stand next to or sit next to and listen to them pick apart a game. And they both just said, they're not going to beat this Vicari kid down low. They need to go high. And, of course, 5 seconds later, Jackson goes down the ice, makes him look silly, and beats him down low.
Exactly. Like Jackson it was almost like, okay, I'm going to shoot, and no time for Vicari to get down there.
Well, that's the funny thing, though, is that you always hear the line, he deked his jockstrap out of him or something, but that was the first real time I can remember in my life recently that I've seen a goalie actually get deked out of his jockstrap.
Yeah, you know what, that was good.
Oh, yeah.
One of our features, though, is our players to watch. We picked 2 of them prior to the game. Let's take a look of how they are doing so far in this contest as the players to watch, brought to you by Mike the Financial Guy.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Player to watch for the Kingston Frontnacs was Owen Outwater. He was acquired by the Frontnacs with a trade with the North Bay Battalion in the offseason, has been held off the score sheet and a -1, and only won 3 of his 10 draws for the Kingston Frontnacs. And looking towards Anthony Romano, just nothing to report across the score sheet or the plus-minus, so him also being held in check this evening. But the Battalion doing a lot of positive things here in that second period as they outscored the Frontnacs 3-1. We're not going to have another North Bay Battalion broadcast this week. Our next one's going to be again next Thursday night as the Ottawa 67s will make a trip here, their second trip of the season into North Bay. But they will be on the road tomorrow night. They'll be looking for revenge against the Kitchener Rangers. And then they'll further travel on Saturday to take on the Owen Sound Attack. But you can still catch hockey on the Frontline podcast. Courtney, you're going to be down in Powassan tomorrow night.
Yeah, it should be a good one against the French River Rapids. I'm kind of almost getting bored of French River Rapids games at this point. We got 2 of them in the NOJHL Showcase, and then basically they were the only team that played Powassan at home in October. So they're back again as we're into November now, of course. Actually, we're really into November. That's wild to think about.
I know. It's crazy.
But, yeah, it'll be the French River Rapids tomorrow, and then Matt will have the call Saturday when the Blind River Beavers come to town. And the last time we saw Blind River, ironically, was against French River at the NOJHL Showcase, and really a battle of David versus Goliath at the time. Blind River was really clicking on all cylinders, and it looked like an even game through the first period. And then at some point, Blind River just said, "Okay, this is silly. We need to turn it on." And they turned it on and basically held French. It was like one of those old cartoons that you see where it's that really tall guy with the long arm and the shorter guy trying to swing his arms at him.
Away, yeah.
That's basically what Blind River did to French River. So, Battle of the Rivers this weekend.
Exactly.
Basically. So, and Powassan's been clipping along pretty good recently as they beat their demons, so to speak, in Sudbury a week ago, and that was the last time we saw them in action.
I can't remember. Are they up to a 7-game win streak or 8?
Oh my goodness! It's so wild.
It's definitely at least 7.
It's up there. It's wild to think about because they haven't played in a week.
I know.
It's been literally 7 days today.
And I'm going to be here at the Gardens.
Yep.
The Nipissing Lakers women's team will be taking on the Toronto Metropolitan Bold both Friday and Saturday. The Friday game, 5 o'clock. The Saturday game is slated for a 2:30 puck drop. And the men's Lakers team will be in action against the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks. They will be following immediately the women's games both Friday and Saturday. So a lot of hockey on tap here this weekend here in North Bay and Powassan. But there's still 20 minutes left here in this third period as the Kingston Frontnacs trail the North Bay Battalion by a score of 4-2. When we return, Andrew White and Matt Sukram will bring all of your third period of action here on the Game Day broadcast.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Welcome back. Matthew Seeger with you here. I had Andrew White here for a second, but I think he just went back out there to get his notes. So, yeah, we're underway here. 45 seconds remaining in the North Bay power play. Jackson has it in the neutral zone. Tries to send it up ahead. Ertl collides hard with Budnick. Both players get up. They appear to be okay. And they're back into the play as Jackson moves it up ahead to Ertl. Coming in, back in front of the net and steered aside with the paddle of the goaltender Vicari. Back in front of the net now, and he makes another save. It's a 4-2 North Bay lead with 19:16 remaining in the third period. 19 seconds remaining on the North Bay power play. And really, as you said, Andrew, before, North Bay heavily out shooting Kingston, but they cannot let them have an inch right now, can they?
No, absolutely not, and that's one of the things that we learned last game with the North Bay Battalion is that you can be on a 7-game tear, but if you lose your focus, if you lose your durability on the ice after even just one period, things can get away from you pretty fast. Ask the Leafs.
Yeah. No, I would never recommend asking them for hockey advice.
Okay.
So the Frontnacs clear it out of the zone, and we're back to 5-on-5 play. Remember, Stewart is still in the box for the Kingston Frontnacs, and he will be there to finish off serving his 10-minute misconduct for mouthguard violation. I was talking to a couple of the off-ice officials in the intermission, and they said there was a memo that ran around the league to officials saying, hey, just so you know, as the puck is frozen by the goaltender Vicari in the Frontenac zone, the memo said we've got to start cracking down on this a little bit.
Yep.
So, once officials are told one thing, they're going to start looking for it.
That's right. And it's your responsibility as a player, and it's your responsibility as a coach to be aware and to be up on these things, because no one's going, once you're told once, that's it. You're not going to get told twice, and the next time you're told, you're going to be sitting on the plastic for it, which is what's happening here.
And right after the whistle, Josh Curry is being penalized. So former North Bay Battalion is sent to the box, and North Bay are right back onto the power play. They lead 4-2, and they've got a chance to make it 5 with the man advantage here.
The left winger is going to sit 2 minutes in the sin bin here. I wasn't entirely sure what that was for.
Me either. I was, again, there was a bit of a scrum after the whistle, but
and this is exactly what the Kingston Frontenacs do not need right now. They do not need the North Bay Battalion with their fire and their wire going on the power play.
Hang on a second. It's not a power play.
Kingston penalty to number 71, Josh Curry.
Oh, you're right. It's not.
He's getting called for a mouthguard violation, too.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's Curry.
Well, that's the third such call in this game. And again, it doesn't put the Battalion to an advantage per se on the ice, but now the Frontnacs have 2 guys in the box, and they almost put one in the back of the net. Turnover right in front of DiVincentis, and it goes high, and then Thibodeau had a second whack at it. He can't get it. Burns at the line, shot fired in, and the save is made. Cleared out of the area by the North Bay Battalion, and wow, that was a chance.
If that was any closer, it would have licked the paint right off the top of the crossbar.
So now Van Steensel sends it into the Frontenac zone, and they will clear it quickly. Sent down the ice, picked up by Lukin. He fires it back out to the neutral zone. It's Procession who has it on the far side boards, and he dumps it in. 17-15 remaining in the third period. North Bay up 4-2. There's a shot coming in from the line. That's deflected off a skate in the middle, and it goes to the near side corner. Lukin has it there, battling along the end boards. Still back there. Procession helps him out. Procession centers it to Romani. Romani tried to get a shot off, but it got blocked. And the Frontenacs skate away with the puck. Down the ice. There's a hard hit. As Kavalin throws Lukin into the boards. He gets back up. He's okay, but that was a hard hit against the big man for the North Bay Battalion. 16 and a half to play in the third. And the Frontnacs are all the way back in their own zone. And from their own zone, they dump it in, but Soto's ahead of everybody. And he gets to the puck first. Centers it. They can't get a shot off. Soto gets it back to the circle. The shot save made. Rebound chance, and DiVincentis finds it.
The North Bay netminder is alive and awake and alert, standing in his net, keeping his team 2 goals ahead of the competition here. The North Bay Battalion are out shooting the Kingston Frontnacs 31-12. So as we commented off broadcast, the North Bay Battalion have slowed their firing just slightly in the second period. Let's see if they can pick it up in the third.
There's a chance in front of the Kingston net, and it's steered away. Sent down the ice. Nelson is 2 at first in the North Bay zone. He gets a pass down the other way, and it's knocked off the half boards, and it goes redirected all the way into the Frontenac zone. North Bay trying to control it there. Sent into the corner, now behind the net. Into the corner of the far side. Jackson gets it for North Bay. Tries to center it. It's off the skate of Ertl and kicked to the half boards on the near side. Hislop gets it up to the goal line. Ertl there. Ertl gets stripped to the puck at the line, but chasing it back quickly in the neutral zone is Nelson. But now his pass is picked off. Coming in, the shot from Arcuri is stopped. A toe save made by DiVincentis, and an important one there. Now it's Hughes with a chance, and his shot is deflected into the pads of DiVincentis. Redirected to the far side boards. At the line, another shot comes in. That one's wide. The Kingston Frontnacs coming alive now. The Battalion on the half boards are able to get it out to the neutral zone and cleared. The Frontnacs, I don't think they ever cleared, but they got control of the puck in the zone. Coming in, and the save is made by DiVincentis. Poke check made by Arnsby to get the puck out of the zone. And this is a moment where the North Bay Battalion captain has really got to try and calm his team down and get it down the other way. Here comes the Frontnacs again. Shot towards the net. DiVincentis sends it to the far side corner. Wakely picks it up on the far side boards and clears the zone. Caught in the middle by Budnick, who plays it back up again. Arcuri coming in to the right side. Outwater into the middle. It's poked away by Wakely. The captain Arnsby picks it up, and he will clear the zone, dumping it down the ice.
DiVincentis adding to the...
icing called here against North Bay. As they're saying, Arnsby never cleared, and so it's sent down the other way, and icing will be called.
DiVincentis adding to his save percentage one after another as the Kingston Frontnacs put 3 shots on net there in just a very short couple of minutes. Of course, the Bolton, Ontario, DiVincentis with 10 wins and 3 losses to his name. And so we'll see if the 18-year-old can add another one to that win column tonight.
In the neutral zone, Battaglia tries to feed up ahead. That's blocked. It's sent the other way. Picked up by the Frontnacs in the neutral zone. Coming in is Ludwinski on the far side. He passes across to the near side. Picked up by Battaglia in that corner. Battaglia tries to get it to the front of the net. There's a chance by Kalins. He's stopped by DiVincentis. Kicked it in the near side corner. North Bay trying to clear. That's blocked. It goes back towards the goal line, and Christopoulos is able to flip it up to the blue line. It's stopped there by Burns, and then his shot comes in, and it's a save made by DiVincentis, and he holds on to it for a stoppage and play. 13:55 to go in the third period. 4-2, North Bay lead.
The past 3 to 4 minutes has all been in the offensive zone for the Kingston Frontnacs. Is they're really putting on the pressure here. Mouth guard or no mouth guard, they're putting on the pressure here to the North Bay Battalion, who have been able to keep their composure.
Off the draw, shot comes in, and DiVincentis had to be quick there. It's the ones that aren't right at you that really are a lot scarier to make the save on. When
it's these little muffins they kind of chuck at the net, and you've got to pay attention.
North Bay get the puck cleared finally. That was about 3 minutes in their own zone, or really 3 minutes of not being able to get the puck past the center ice. And now they've got it in the Kingston zone. Pass to the far side boards. Nelson whipped around behind the net. Tarasevic looking for the puck. It's back down to the half boards on the near side. Hislop pinching in. Feeds it back up high to Petrov, who fires it to the far side corner. It's picked up over there by Budnick, and he gets it to the neutral zone. Coming in is Kalins, or check that Cavallani. Cavalin, and he gets it at the blue line, and it's knocked off his stick. And Romani gets it up ahead to Procession coming in. His backhanded shot is wide of the net, picked up on the far side boards by Ludwinski. He can't clear for the Frontnacs. North Bay back in control in behind the net. Romani's there, skating out in front. He's taken down, gets the pass to Turley. Turley at the line, fires it gets through, but it either hit off the body of Vicari or off the post. Either way, it stays out of the net and goes to the far side boards. And along those far side boards, the Frontnacs are able to clear. In the neutral zone, Romani plays it up ahead. Jackson deflects it into the zone, picks up the loose puck on the near side boards. Jackson's backhand goes off a body, and it's sent down the ice, and that will be icing called against the North Bay Battalion. So now they've kind of squashed that momentum a little bit for the time being against the Frontnacs, because, again, they were in the zone for about 3 straight minutes.
Yeah.
Now the Battalion have returned the favor.
Absolutely, and just a couple of minutes ago, Vicari showing all of the kids at home wanting to be an OHL goaltender one day exactly what to do when you think the play is heating up. You stand where you think the puck is going to be, even if you can't see it. And sure enough, 1 second later, the puck comes flying in, and like you said, it either went off him or off the post. But that was almost a no-look save from Vicari to keep his team in this game.
Out to the neutral zone. That is Matthew Soto coming down the right wing side in towards the net. Tries to center it, and the play is broken up by North Bay, and they get it back out to the neutral zone. Budnick there again. Feels like he's been on the ice the entire third period on that as the rear guard there. Sends it up ahead. Shot comes in, and a save made by Dom DiVincentis. It's been a entertaining night. 11:37 to go in the third period. 4-2 the score for the North Bay Battalion ahead, but the Frontnacs have really come out and have had their best period so far.
Absolutely, lots of chit-chat back and forth between these two teams. We'll call it chit-chat, nice friendly chit-chat between the two teams. But like I said earlier, the Kingston Frontnacs have had to go from skills to drills over these past couple of games and this past season. And boy, are they sure they've sure come flying out of the gates this period.
Christopoulos to Van Steensel, back in front to Christopoulos, save made, rebound chances just directed wide. What a give and go play by the defenseman to the winger, Van Steensel, and then almost burying not one but 2 golden chances for Paul Christopoulos.
Vicari with ice in his veins keeps that puck out and keeps this game going.
Arnsby up ahead to Van Steensel. Drops it back to Wakely. Wakely's pass to the blue line is picked off, and the Frontnacs go the other way. Hemstrom in the middle. Knocked off his stick. Lucan has it for the Battalion behind his own blue line. Cross to the far side of Christopoulos. Now back across to Lucan. Lucan sends it down the left side boards. It's deflected into the zone by Van Steensel. He plays it behind the net for Potaloo, who gets it up to the blue line to Lucan. Lucan into the corner. Behind the net. Comes out in front and did not get a shot off. But Lucan making things happen in the offensive zone. The big defender gets the puck to Petrov. Petrov, his shot gets blocked. Back out to Lucan at the blue line. Sends it in the corner for Petrov. He dishes it off, looking for Potaloo, who sends it to the corner for Tarasevich. Around along the end boards for his lob. It's deflected out to the neutral zone, and Lucan picks it up for North Bay. He gives it back to Hislop, who gets it up ahead down the right wing side. Tarasevich coming in. Tries to center it for Petrov, who is wide open. But a really good defensive play on the back check by the Frontnacs to break up that pass. 10 minutes to go in the third period. 4-2 the score for the Battalion. It's the Frontnacs with control in the offensive zone. Their pass is knocked away by Wakely, and he gets it out to the neutral zone. Getting on the puck is Kennedy coming in. It's a 4-on-1 North Bay. Wakely drops it back. Shot save made. Rebound chance for Petrov, and he can't bury it. Played into the near side corner. That is Wakely. He skates out to the middle of the zone. Takes a shot. Save made by the goaltender Vicari. We've reached the halfway point. 4-2. Let's take a break.
This period is brought to you by Canadore Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks for more information.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
Well, certainly a lot of choices for your 3 stars of the game for the North Bay Battalion. I mean, Kyle Jackson has a 2-goal night. Justin Earl with 2 assists on the evening. Nikita Tarasevich has a pair of assists as well. Matvey Petrov has also got a pair of assists. And, I mean, the North Bay Battalion up and down this lineup have done a really good job of spreading out the point production. But they've also had a very good defensively sound game, maybe outside of a 5-minute sequence there in the third period.
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking there for just a moment. It seemed as though the third period was all going to be played within about 40 or 45 feet here, with between the blue line and the boards. But it looks like the North Bay Battalion have managed to break the curse and get this game back going across 200 feet.
Thibodeau off the draw, brings it into the North Bay zone, plays it in the corner. Josh Bloom is there, he leaves it for Nelson, who finds Jackson, who gets it up ahead to Erdl. Erdl one-on-one into the zone, trying to get past Burns. Erdl stops and he's turned back and sends it in the corner. Now he centers it for Nelson. Shot save, rebound, chance to score. It's a hat trick for Kyle Jackson. Well, I think that answers who might be the first star of the night, as Action Jackson makes it 3. And it's 5-2 North Bay.
Right before this game, he had 7 goals on the evening. You can call it 10 now for Kyle Jackson. And I'll tell you, it's pretty clear how this game's going to go for the North Bay Battalion as they reinsure the I was going to say the insurance goal.
Yeah.
And reestablish their 3-goal lead on the visitors.
Kyle Jackson. Well, there is a hat on the ice.
A hat.
Someone got into the spirit there. And he's up to 110 points now in his career. That is his 50th career OHL goal.
And he's now become one of the newest players to watch.
He had an 8-game point streak earlier this season, 5 goals and 6 assists over that streak that ended on October 27th in a 6-3 loss to the Windsor Spitfires. But, you know, it's he's a guy, he's an overager. He's a NHL prospect now. And he's a guy that just, when you need him to come up in those big moments, he's the guy you look to do that, or he's the guy that does that for you.
I remember an OHL coach saying a couple of years ago, you know, it's great when 2 or 3 guys have a good night, but you don't want those 2 and 3 guys to be driving the bus all night. And the North Bay Battalion have certainly shown tonight they can spread out the love, spread out the points, and spread out the goals, with Kyle Jackson picking up 3 as the home team leads the incoming guests 5-2 with 8 minutes, 6 seconds left in this game.
And the North Bay Battalion, like we said, spreading out the production. They have 10 players who have double digits in points coming into this game. And I think they'll be adding a couple names to that stat after tonight's game. Here come the Frontnacs, not giving up. A delayed 3-on-2 there, but the play is broken up late, going in towards the netminder, DiVincentis, and it's steered away, and then it's sent into the North Bay bench. And it'll be a stoppage play. 7:40 to go, a 5-2 lead for the North Bay Battalion. And just want to shout out producer Drew Fair is filling in for Ben Long tonight. Ben is feeling under the weather, but I know he's listening in, so Ben, hope you get better soon. But man, Drew has done an amazing job. It's not easy to do with our setup. You've got to take care of the audio. You've got to play commercials.
You got to put up with the play-by-play guy.
That's exactly it. So, Drew, we thank you for jumping in, and it's been a pleasure to have you as part of the team this year. And that goes to you as well, Andrew. It's getting your feet wet a bit, and you've done some Lakers games with us, done Have you done a Voodoo's game with us yet?
I've done one Voodoo's game.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it's pretty fast and pretty in your face.
It is. Here comes Podolou towards the net. That shot deflected and into the corner. Now out of the corner, Petrov with a shot, and the goaltender Vicari had to make a save there. Back to the blue line. Petrov has it, dishes it across to the far side. Delayed penalty coming up here against the Frontnacs. North Bay get the extra attacker out there. It's centered to Petrov. His shot blocked. Gets it back. And the Frontnacs never actually controlled it, but they did touch it. And so the official calls the play down. And so it'll be a roughing call against the Kingston Frontnacs, and North Bay will go back on the power play. They're 0 for 2 tonight on the power play in that category.
And a roughing call is insult to injury for the Kingston Frontnacs as they're trying to recover from a 3-goal deficit. A 5-2 is what it says on the scoreboard here at Memorial Gardens. And this is going to put North Bay back on the power play for another 2 minutes. 6 minutes, 48 seconds left in this hockey game.
Stolen at the line by the Frontnacs after the draw, and Nelson with a beautiful steal in the neutral zone to get it back up ahead to Jackson, and he fires it just high. Jackson gets the puck back to the point. Nelson fires it in, stopped in front to Erdl, he scores! Justin Erdl with a beautiful goal on the one-time feed, and then after the play, he shoves one of the Frontnacs players into the net, and that's going to cause everybody to get a little agitated, and there's a couple of players that are really tangled up there. Matvey Petrov is really giving it to Quentin Burns. It's now 6-2 for the Battalion after the Justin Erdl power play goal, and that's a 3-point night for Justin Erdl, by the way. Check that, a 4-point night for Justin Erdl. And as the officials finally get some cooler heads prevailed here, it's Matvey Petrov who's going to go to the box for the Battalion.
The officials had to peel him. I don't know, when was the last time you peeled the banana? That's kind of what it looked like, trying to get Petrov
That's it.
off the Kingston Frontnacs player. We got 2 in the box for the Battalion, 2 in the box for the Kingston Frontnacs. Are we going to have 3 here? No, we're going to have 2.
It's really only one. Stewart's still in the box for the mouth guard penalty.
That's right. And the captain's having a word with the officials here as they try to get this game put back together.
Goal, his 6th goal of the season. Scored by number 9, Justin Erdl.
So Justin Erdl.
And let's be clear.
Number 18, Josh Blue. And number 24.
So the assist going to Blue, but let's be clear that Erdl goal went well into the back of the net before the net left left the goal line and before everything went haywire there.
So that penalty will come off because it is a power play goal.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Stewart's in the box from the other penalty, right?
Yeah.
For the roughing call. So, all right, we'll get this sorted out in a second for you folks.
We got numbers all over this board here trying to figure this out.
Stewart is coming out of the box because of the power play goal.
Yeah.
So that one's gone. What it looks like we've got here is a double minor to Burns. He'll probably get 2 for roughing, and I'm not sure what the other 2 would be. Petrov is in the box for 2 minutes, although it should probably be 5 for fighting.
5 for fighting.
And Erdl is in the box. I mean, he did shove the guy after he scored a goal into the net, so that'll probably be a roughing call.
Yeah. Either way, we've got some red ink to clear off this board here. But let's be clear, in all of this, there's only 6.5 minutes left in this hockey game.
Yeah. Battalion up to 38 shots on the night now. Their season high was 43 coming into the game, so they might get close to topping that mark. Those 43 shots came in a 9-3 win over the Niagara Ice Dogs back on November 3rd, so just earlier this month. It looks like it's just going to remain 5-on-5 here. yeah, they're not dishing anything out. Petrov's in the box, Ertl's in the box, and Burns is in the box, and there's no, as you called it, red ink on the board in the penalty category. So it's 6-2 North Bay after Justin Ertl has his first career 4-point night. He had 3 assists going into that last sequence before scoring a goal. Wakely to the far side to Arnsby, plays it to the middle of Van Steensel. Knocked off his stick, but Arnsby gets it right back, centers it to Wakely, to the near side, Van Steensel, he fires it wide of the net. Off the corner, pinching in Christopoulos, he fires it wide, bouncing around at the line, and it's cleared over the blue line. Justin Earl is now up to a 4-game, is now on a 3-game point streak.
Kingston penalty to number 41.
And Ertl now has 3 goals over his last 6 games.
And number 22,
and 5 assists in that span as well. So he's a guy, Dallas Stars draft pick, that's really starting to come into his own here in the OHL. It's his first year in the OHL. But again, just another one of those really intricate signings and wheeling and dealing by general manager Adam Dennis to convince a guy that was drafted by the previous Battalion regime to come and play for the new regime.
That's right.
And what'll probably be his only year in the OHL. He could come back for an overage season next year, but at this rate, the Dallas Stars might be like, no, you're coming with us next year, right?
That's right. Sometimes it's time and place, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. And so we'll be looking forward to good things for this youngster. Looks like we got everything all cleared up. Play is resumed, obviously, on the ice. They have all the penalties sorted out between roughing and cross-checking, and
yeah, there was a lot of them. Quentin Burns got 2 minors for roughing, and then Justin Earl got called for roughing, and Matvei Petrov got called for roughing. So no one got called for fighting, which was interesting.
Yeah.
So they just leave it as it is, and everything offsets each other, and those guys will just be in the box till right near the end of the game. So.
That's right.
So play is underway. It's Williamson behind the net in the Frontnacs zone, clears it to the far side boards, and now it's cleared out of the Frontnacs zone. Turley chases it into the Battalion end, flips it around to the far side for Kennedy, plays it up ahead, and dishes it off. Into the neutral zone, Jackson bringing it in. He's got a hat trick tonight. Picked off by the Frontnacs, and Battaglia will carry it down the ice. Thibodeau tries to play it to the middle. It's Podolou picking it off for North Bay, and he dumps it in. Chasing it into the corner. He hits Schneider into the boards, and Podolou gets the puck back for North Bay. Plays it to the line to Hislop, across to the right side to Nelson. Nelson fires it in towards the middle. There's a shot coming in from Jackson, and it's stopped by the goaltender Vicari and sent down the ice. Into the North Bay zone, picked up quickly by Hislop, who's had an impressive debut for the North Bay Battalion. Played in behind the net. Wakely to the far side corner. Played back behind the net to Arnsby. Arnsby to the half boards, Lukin. Back behind the net to Wakely. Wakely looking for some support. Feeds it to Van Steensel in front. His shot is stopped, and it's covered up by the goaltender Vicari.
After tonight, the Kingston Frontnacs, they're on. They head to the Sioux tomorrow, and then Sudbury on Sunday. So they're on a 5-game road trip. Mississauga last night, the Troops tonight. Then they're finishing off their Northern Ontario tour with Sault Ste. Marie, and then Sudbury, and then of course the North Bay Battalion are on the road for 1 game before they're home for 1 game.
Turnover in front of the net. Arnsby to Lukin. Fires it in. Kick save made by the goaltender Vicari. That is the 40th shot of the game for North Bay, but it's cleared out. Soto on a breakaway. 2-on-1 the other way. The shot save made. Rebound chance denied as well. DiVincentis with a big stop, and then Christopoulos helps him out by getting down low and blocking the rebound, which redirected into DiVincentis for the stoppage in play as he smothered it in the blue paint.
DiVincentis makes an NHL-style save, stretching all the way out from east to west, all the way across the front of his net, making the first stop and then smothering it up for the second, and keeping his team well ahead of the incoming visitors.
There's a pass in line off the draw, the shot wide of the net, picked up on the near side boards, now sent in to the corner. Cavallin can't hold it there. It's picked up on the far side boards by Romani. Plays it behind the net to Kennedy, who clears it down the ice. Yeah, it's been a tough 5-game road trip for the Frontnacs, who had to play a Tuesday morning game in Ottawa. So they came back to Kingston on the Sunday night against the Mississauga Steelheads.
And
then they
didn't go
left
well for them either.
And then they left Kingston Monday so that they could be in Ottawa for a 10:30 a.m. game on Tuesday. Came back to Kingston on Wednesday, then came to North Bay Wednesday evening so that they could be, or try to be well rested to play this Thursday night game. Like you said, they'll take off tonight, go to the Sioux, play them tomorrow night, and then they'll take off for Sudbury on Saturday, spend Saturday night in Sudbury before playing the Wolves on Sunday afternoon. So that is a lot of time on and off a bus, and the sleep patterns are all over the place for the next week.
We're trying to get it straight where they're going. Try keeping it straight, playing in all these cities.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just trying to read it. Never mind 60 minutes of hockey in each of these towns.
As you said, for the North Bay Battalion, I mean, they've really been road warriors to start this season.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, they only have one more home game this month, and that's coming up against the Ottawa 67s. And then they go on a road for a lengthy trip, and then they'll be back to host the Sioux in December.
Yeah, they're on the road for 5 games, making stops in Hamilton, Niagara, Sudbury, Kingston, and Peterborough. The next game is next month, December 8th. Like you said, up against the Greyhounds. Start time on that game is 7 p.m.
Playback underway in the North Bay zone with 1:40 to go. The Battalion cleared up to Petrov. Petrov sends it to the far side. Off the stick of Wakely. Wakely bounces off hit. Goes into the corner. Sent around behind the net. Looking for control back there. Podolou trying to help him out. Puck's still there. Podolou trying to come out of that area with 1:20 to go. He does come out, gets a shot off, and it's stopped, and then he was sent to the ice. Gets back up into the play as the Frontnacs bring the puck out of the zone. Dumped into the far side corner. Christopoulos has it. Looking to clear it for the Battalion. He gets it up to the blue line. It's kept in by the Frontnacs there. Set back in the corner. Now centered. The shot goes off the side of the net. 1 minute to play here at Memorial Gardens on a entertaining Thursday night as the Battalion looking to improve to 5-2 as a home team.
DiVincentis going to add another win to his record with 11-3.
And despite only getting 16 shots on him, he has made some difficult saves over the course of this game, while the North Bay Battalion really helped him out down at the other end. Up to 41 shots on net as the Frontnacs looking for a late one here. They get it in towards DiVincentis, but he holds on to it for a stoppage and play. And now some more tension and frustration boiling over. One Frontnacs player knocked down behind the net by Lukin. That player gets up and gets back in Lukin's face, and Lukin is going to try throw a couple of right hands at, I believe it's Cavallin over there. And the officials are just going to let them go now. Gloves have been dropped, and they are going to let Cavallin and Lukin go at it. A couple of big right hands there in the corner. They're finally trying to move out of that area. Now Cavallin throwing a couple of haymakers in. Lukin throws a bit of an undercut in there, and the officials finally get in the way, and they clear those two out of there. And Lukin will head to the locker room with just 24 seconds remaining in this contest. That was a heavyweight tilt there.
It was a bit of, at this point it's a bit of a what have I got to lose?
Yeah.
With tempers between these two teams really starting to build in it. it really tells you the spirit and the nature of how hockey games go. When these players, they're willing to go all the way to the end of the third period. Nobody is skating off this period. With 24 seconds to go, these guys get into it, and it shows you how engaged and how dedicated both of these teams are to each other and to their own cause.
I think it's just been a matter of frustration in how the game's gone, because there hasn't really been any dirty hits. Like, it's been a pretty well-played game from that lens. However, I think it's been a frustrating game at points, especially for the Kingston Frontnacs, who maybe feel like they could have had a couple of more goals here and there. They've had some breaks, but they have spent a lot of time playing defensive hockey, and that's where I think you feel the frustrations boiling over.
And let's not forget, they started the scoring in this game as well.
They
so it's one
did.
of these things where they've dropped the past two games. Like we mentioned on that rare Tuesday morning game, they got pasted by Ottawa 7-1, and then they got edged by Mississauga in a shootout 4-3. So they're really looking to get their skates back under them before they take on a few more games in Sault Ste. Marie than Sudbury, and this game has just flat out not gone their way. They've done all of the work, and they haven't seen the mileage for it. So 2 minutes on the penalty box for the home team here, and for all the good it's going to do, 24 seconds, 24.4, excuse me, left in this game. So the Battalion are going to go to the penalty box. The penalty clock says 2 minutes. The game clock says 24 seconds.
Yeah, not a lot of time to get your power play running there, right?
We got the village people to keep us busy, keep us entertained for the last 24 seconds.
And we hope we've been entertaining you tonight on the Frontline broadcast. So stay tuned. We've got our post-game show coming up after as well. And it's a busy weekend for us. Derek and I will be here at the rink doing the Lakers games on OUA TV. Courtney is going to have the game in Powassan tomorrow night between the Voodoos and the French River Rapids. I'll have the game on Saturday night in Powassan, and Derek will be doing a couple more Lakers games here on Saturday as well. So lots going on for the Frontline broadcast crew. And with 3 seconds left, the Battalion, who are shorthanded on the ice, are looking to improve in the win column. They'll go to 5-2 on the season at home, and they're now 13-5 overall.
DiVincentis picks up his 11th win for the Battalion. 11 wins, 3 losses for the 18-year-old. And of course, 14 games. That's going to pick up his save percentage even just by a little bit, but he'll take it.
That was an entertaining game between two teams who don't like each other very much. A 6-2 win for the North Bay Battalion, and some outstanding performances. Ty Nelson was a beast on the back end. Kyle Jackson with the hat trick. Justin Ertl with a 4.9. And how about the newcomers in Josh Bloom and Braden Hislop, who come in and make a statement with their new team.
And the Battalion saluting the 7th man in the stands. And for a lot of these folks coming out to watch the good old hockey game tonight, it's a good time to be a Battalion fan.
All right, well, are you sticking around for the post-game show with Derek? Okay, so I have got to get down there and do a couple interviews. Thank you so much for joining us. Stick around for the post-game show. That'll be coming up right after this. You're watching the Average Joe's Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And welcome back to Memorial Gardens, where the North Bay Battalion have defeated the Kingston Frontnacs by a 6-2 score. This is the Frontline post-game show. I am your host, Derek Lindeman. I'm pleased to have Andrew White for the post-game show. Let's take a look at the scoring summary of tonight's game as the Kingston Frontnacs kicked off the scoring at the 10:04 mark of the first period. Maddox Callens with his 4th of the season from Linus Hemstrom and Gabriel Frasca. Kyle Jackson, his 1st of the night, 8th of the season, tied things up at 18-21. Tarasevich and Petrov on with the helpers on that goal, and that's how the first period ended, a 1-1 score. The Battalion started the second period quickly as Ty Nelson, with his 7th of the season, gave the Battalion a 2-1 lead, a lead that they never relinquished after that. That goal coming at 1:38. Ertel and Hislop picking up the assist on that goal. Kyle Jackson with his 2nd of the night, his 9th of the season. The eventual game winner at 9:31. Ertel and Petrov with the assist on the 2nd goal by Kyle Jackson. And then Josh Bloom getting in on the action, his 1st as a North Bay Battalion, his 8th on the season at 10:42. Ethan Procision and Nikita Tarasevich with the assist on that goal. And rounding out the scoring of the second period, 16:56, Francesco Curry with his 14th of the season made it a 4-2 North Bay Battalion lead going into the third period. Picking up assists were Christopher Thibodeau and Braden Hash. And then the third period, only 2 goals in that, both by the North Bay Battalion. Kyle Jackson finishing off his hat trick, his 10th of the season from Nelson and Ertel at 10:49, and then Justin Ertel with a power play marker at 13:29. Bloom and Nelson with the assist on that goal, and that was all of the scoring as the Battalion went away with a 6-2 victory. Taking a look at the shots in the third period, each team firing 11 shots on goal. Game totals for the Frontnacs 20, and for the North Bay Battalion 41. Only that one power play goal, so the Battalion going 1 for 3 on the power play. Meanwhile, the Kingston Frontnacs 0 for 3. And again, North Bay Battalion doing an excellent job on the faceoff dot, winning 44 of the 69 faceoffs. So a dominating effort again for the North Bay Battalion. 2 other games are already final, also in the OHL. The Saginaw Spirit came back to defeat the Niagara Ice Dogs 3-2 in Niagara, and the Peterborough Petes held on. Well, didn't hold on. They finished off the Oshawa Generals, winning that game 4-0. But making the story here tonight, the North Bay Battalion rebounding from that loss last weekend to the Kitchener Rangers, finishing it off 6-2. All 3 stars were from the North Bay Battalion. And let's look at the Dave's Automotive 3 stars of service.
Tonight's 3 stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
All stars, of course, from the North Bay Battalion. 3rd star, Ty Nelson, a goal, 2 assists, a +3 on the evening, and adding 7 more shots to his OHL leading shot total. 2nd star, Justin Ertel, a goal and 3 assists, a good 4-point night for himself. And the first star with the hat trick is Kyle Jackson with the 3 goals, a +2. So a great night for Kyle Jackson and the North Bay Battalion. Andrew, really a dominating game by the North Bay Battalion tonight.
And not only that, both netminders did their part. DiVincentis, of course, for the North Bay Battalion, adding now one more win to the docket in that column. So now he's 11-3 out of 14 games played. Vicari, boy, you got to hand it to him. I mean, it didn't, obviously, with the game finished this way, obviously it didn't go his way, but really working hard, especially early in this game. He will move to 5 wins and 3 losses for the Kingston Frontnacs. But man, I'll tell you, it was just about half of the North Bay Battalion shots all came in the first period.
Yeah, 20 shots in that first period and a lot of high-quality shots. Mason Vicari had to be really on top of his game for that, and just the pressure kept coming from the North Bay Battalion. Still getting those good looks, just weren't getting those timely saves in the second and third from Vicari.
Absolutely, and let's go back to Kyle Jackson. Boy, what a hat-trick night for him. He went from 7 goals before this game up to 10, and of course the center, the NHL prospect. Boy, he's now become a new player to watch.
He is, and it really is nice how you've seen Josh Bloom fit in on that top line with Justin Ertl. I know looking at the goals for the North Bay Battalion, a lot of them were in that 8 and 9 range, and it was curious to see who was going to be the first to get to that double-digit mark. And Kyle Jackson exploded tonight with those 3 to get up into the 10-point mark. But then the third period, temper started to run on mid, and a couple roughing penalties after that Justin Ertl goal, and then eventually a fight in the final 30 seconds as Cavallini and Alexander Lukin tossed a few knuckles.
Well, it's been back and forth all game with both teams having a bit of an agenda. The Kingston Frontnacs dropping the past 2 games leading up to this, both to Mississauga and to Ottawa. And, of course, the Ottawa game, that didn't go so well for them. A rare Tuesday morning game where they lost 7-1. The North Bay Battalion trying to kind of hit the restart button after losing 1 game. Previous to that, they were on a 7-game tear. So they were looking, both teams were looking to reset tonight. One of them did, one of them didn't.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Kingston Frontnacs coming out again on another losing end 6-2 isn't going to be liking their road trip, as it's going to continue as they make their way up to Sault Ste. Marie to take the Greyhounds. That's going to be a lengthy bus trip, especially after a game like today.
It gives you a lot of time to think on the bus, doesn't it? And then they got to backtrack. They got to backtrack to Sault Ste. Marie on Sunday. The Kingston Frontnacs, 3rd in the East, taking on the North Bay Battalion tonight, 1st in the Central.
Yeah, it was a tough night. Definitely for the Kingston Frontnacs. The North Bay Battalion will go on the road for their next 2 games. They're going to be in Kitchener to take on the Rangers from the Odd, a very nice arena there in Kitchener, looking to rebound after that last loss on Sunday against the Rangers right here on home ice. And then they'll continue the road trip, and they'll be in Owen Sound to take on the Attack on Saturday night. The next home game here will be next Thursday, the 24th. The Ottawa 67s will be in town to take on the North Bay Battalion. That's going to be a really strong battle, as those are probably the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference.
And then after that, they're on the road for 5, making stops in Hamilton, Niagara, Sudbury, Kingston once again, and Peterborough. And then their next home game after that is next month, December the 8th. They're taking on the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Puck drop is 7 p.m.
Yeah, and that's going to be an extra special night, as that's going to be teddy bear toss night at Memorial Gardens. So with the first North Bay Battalion goal, teddy bears will be flowing out onto the ice surface over top of the glass. Always a special night as that kicks off the Christmas season here at Memorial Gardens.
Absolutely, it's a good time. It's a good time to bring the kiddies out, and it's a good time to, it's one of these things where I have daughters at home, and they're not hockey players, but boy, they'd be all up for helping those less fortunate, those in need, and the knowledge that a teddy bear is going to a good cause might be just the reason to bring them out for a good game of hockey and a good bag of popcorn.
And it will be a good night, as the Sioux Greyhounds will make their only trip here into North Bay to take on the Battalion this year. But If you don't want to wait till next Thursday to catch the Frontline broadcast, you can catch them tomorrow night. They're going to be in Powassan as they will be calling the game. That will be Courtney Kenny on the call as the French River Rapids are in town to take on the Powassan Voodoos tomorrow night at 7. And then again on Saturday, the Blind River Beavers will be in town to take on the Powassan Voodoos. I'll be here at Memorial Gardens calling Lakers hockey. The women are playing against the TMU Bold, formerly the Ryerson Rams, both Friday night at 5 and then Saturday afternoon at 2:30. The men will be taking on the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks both Friday and Saturday. Immediately following the women's games, all of that action will be here at Memorial Gardens. Always looking exciting to see people out here in the fans for those games. But the North Bay Battalion and that quick losing streak here, beating the Kingston Frontnacs 6-2. Andrew, any final words here from Memorial Gardens?
Well, it's just nice to see the homeboys give their head a shake as they get back on the blades. It wasn't a very encouraging night for them up against the Rangers on Sunday, losing that one to the fourth in the Midwest, 4-3. They were losing 4-1, couldn't catch up. So it's nice to see them get back on their blades with a little fire in their step and taking care of the hometown ice and the hometown crowd as well.
Especially a really good atmosphere tonight, welcoming the two newcomers, Josh Bloom and Braden Hislop, to this lineup as the Battalion make it a 6-2 final. Well, from Memorial Gardens, for Matt Sucrum, for Courtney Kenny, Andrew White, Drew Ferris filling in for our producer tonight, and I'm Derek Lindemann. So long from Memorial Gardens. Make the final again, 6-2 North Bay Battalion. We'll see you again on another night.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.